love you, that you are not alone. They took you from your family and stuck you in a testing place. They snatched you from your mommy before she touched your face. They sent you to the circus ring to amuse the laughing crowds. They stripped you off your hair and skin and threw you on the ground. But even in these moments, we wanted you to know that we see you, we hear you, we feel you, we love you, that you are not alone. One day on this ravaged earth, when blood and tears subside, everything will be so calm and green from side to side. Animals like me and you will share this place in peace, and there will be no suffering, just joy and love and ease. But until that day is here, we'll meet on the Rainbow Bridge, where there will be no difference between a man and cow and pig. We'll hug and kiss and play all day, just like children do. And then we will apologize for what we did to you. And even in these moments, we wanted you to know that we see you, we hear you, we feel you, we love you, that you're not alone. You're not alone, even when you're gone.
नमस्ते सबैलाई। दोस्रो नेशनल एनिमल राइट्स डे काठमाडौँ नेपालमा हजुरहरूलाई स्वागत छ। यस पृथ्वीको सबैभन्दा शोषित, पीडित, सीमान्तकृत र वञ्चित समूह अर्थात् जनावरहरूका लागि आज हामी यहाँ भेला भएका छौँ। हामी आज उनीहरूको दुःख, पीडा र हत्या प्रति शोक प्रकट गर्नेछौँ। आज हामी उनीहरूको आवाज हुनेछौँ र जो कोही मानिस उनीहरूको आवाज सुन्न सक्छन् ती मानिसहरू मध्ये ती मानिसहरू समक्ष हामी आज उनीहरूको कहली लाग्दो यथार्थ प्रष्ट पार्नेछौँ। यदि उनीहरूले मानिसको भाषा बोल्ने भए हरेक मासु पसल, सुपरमार्केट, फिश मार्केट, फार्म, होटल, रेस्टुरेन्ट, जू, एक्वेरियम, पेट शप, घरबाट निक्लेको रोदनले हामीलाई शान्तिपूर्ण रूपमा बाँच्न दिने थिएन। उनीहरू सम्पत्ति होइन, उनीहरू कसैका लागि बनेका होइनन्। हरेक 30 मिनेटमा 60 लाख जनावरहरू मासुका लागि मारिन्छन्। नेपालभित्र मात्र 35 करोड केजी मासु उत्पादन हुन्छ। यसमा मासुका लागि आयात हुने तथा जीवित आयात हुने जनावरहरूको तथ्याङ्क उल्लेखित छैन। हामी सबै जनावर हौं। यस पृथ्वीमा हामी एकसाथ बाँचिरहेका छौं। यस पृथ्वीलाई हामीले एकैसाथ बाँडिरहेका छौं। हामी सबैलाई आफ्नो परिवारबाट टाढा हुँदा, आफ्नो स्वतन्त्रता गुमाउँदा दुःख लाग्छ। हामी सबै अरूबाट खुसी, माया, दया र निष्ठाको अपेक्षा गर्दछौँ। जनावरहरूको पनि आफ्नै छुट्टै अस्तित्व छ, उनीहरूको पनि आफ्नै छुट्टै चाहना छ। उनीहरू हाम्रो प्रयोगका लागि बनाएका सम्पत्ति होइनन्। उनीहरूको जीवन र त्यसको स्वतन्त्रता उनीहरूको अधिकार हो र त्यसलाई प्रयोग गर्नु भनेको हाम्रो मूर्खता मात्र हो, क्रूरता मात्र हो। पशु अधिकारको पनि आधारभूत सिद्धान्त यही हो, उनीहरूलाई आफ्नो जीवन क्रूरता, हिंसा र शोषण बिना बाँच्न पाउनु। यो अधिकार हामीले उनीहरूबाट खोसिरहेका छौँ। उनीहरूलाई हामीले हरेक पल शोषणको शिकार बनाइरहेका छौँ। उनीहरूको लास हामी मासु भनेर खान्छौँ। उनीहरूको छाला हामी फ्यासन भनेर लगाउँछौँ। उनीहरूमाथि हामी हरेक पटक एक्सपेरिमेन्ट गर्छौँ। उनीहरूको अङ्ग प्रत्यङ्ग सबै हामीले प्रयोग गर्छौँ। उनीहरूलाई हरेक पल, हरेक क्षण यातनापूर्ण जीवन बाँच्न बाध्य बनाउँछौँ। यसैका लागि आज हामी यस प्रवृत्तिको खिलाफ आवाज उठाउन यहाँ भेला भएका छौँ। किनकि यो पृथ्वी हाम्रो हो, हामी सबैको हो। यो पृथ्वी जति मानिसको त्यति नै जनावरहरूको पनि हो। यसै साथ यही भनाइका साथ म चाहिँ आज औपचारिक रूपमा यो कार्यक्रम सुरु गर्न चाहन्छु। हाम्रो कार्यक्रमलाई 2 भागमा डिभाइड गरिएको छ। फर्स्ट भनेको चाहिँ मेमोरियल फेज हो। यो मेमोरियल फेजमा चाहिँ हामीले जनावरहरूको पर्सपेक्टिभबाट उनीहरूको स्टोरिज भन्नेछौँ। उनीहरूको स्टोरीज भन्नेछौँ र त्यो स्टोरी चाहिँ कुनै स्टोरी चाहिँ रियल लाइफ इन्स्पायर्ड हो, रियल लाइफै बेस्ड हो, कुनै चाहिँ हामीले इमेजिन गरेका छौँ तर इमेजिनेसन भए पनि यो यथार्थ फ्याक्चुअल कुरामै आधारित भएर लेखिएको छ। र हामीले मेमोरियल फेजको अन्तिमतिर जाँदाखेरि चाहिँ दियो बालेर साथसाथै एनिमलको फोटो देखाएर जुन तपाईहरुसँग जुन एनिमलको फोटो भयो भने हुन्छ, यस्तो पेन्टिङ बुकको कभर भए पनि हुन्छ, मोबाइलमा डाउनलोड गर्दा नि हुन्छ, यसरी टी सर्टमा एनिमलहरुको गर्दा पनि हुन्छ, एनिमलको फोटो भए पनि हुन्छ। वी जस्ट वान्ट टु रिमेम्बर देम बाइ सिम्बलाइजिङ देम। सो दियो बालेर अनि एनिमलहरुको फोटो देखाएर हामी चाहिँ 2 मिनेटको मौन धारण गर्नेछौँ। अनि हाम्रो सेकेन्ड फेज भनेको चाहिँ सेरेमोनीको सेलिब्रेसनको फेज हो। त्यो फेजमा चाहिँ हामीले एनिमल राइट्सको लागि भएका प्रोग्रेसहरू र साथसाथै भिगन बिजनेसेसहरूको इन्क्रिजेसहरू र हामी चाहिँ पोएट्री, डान्सिङ, ड्रामा आदि इत्यादिबाट एनिमल राइट्समा भएका प्रोग्रेसहरू सेलिब्रेट गर्नेछौँ। र अब चाहिँ लेट्स बिगिन विथ द फर्स्ट एन्ट्री इन्टु द फर्स्ट पार्ट अफ आवर मेमोरियल सेक्सन, द्याट इज the animal liberation song by Eva and music by Surajan.
Music by Siddhant, not Surajan.
Sorry, music by Siddhant. So, as we all believe in animal liberation, I think that this song will provide a symbolic meaning.
I'm in pain, living in misery. Want to do something about it. Please do something about it. You say I'm different, so you treat me lesser than. But you are so wrong about me. Yes, you are so wrong about me. Because I'm like you, I feel pain, love too. I'm you but in a different body, but there's still life inside my body. Let me be free, freedom from your tyranny. It's all I've ever wanted, it's all I've ever wanted. Liberation for the animals. Liberation, because we are all animals, we all animals. Go on, be brave, go out there, make history. Bring justice to my life, love. Bring justice to the lives lost. Because every day they will try to convince you that humane murder is justified. But believe me, I don't want to die. But I'm at your mercy, and you are the difference. Be the voices of the silence. In the silence, stop the violence. And organize, mobilize. Speak up for the defenseless. Without you, we're defenseless. Liberation for the animals. Liberation, because we are all animals, we all animals. Fear is what drives on full behavior. Let love guide you towards justice on this day. Yeah, because I want to be happy, safe, and free. Just be happy, safe, and free every day. Liberation for the animals. Liberation, because we are all animals. We all animals.
Such a strong message and such a beautiful and meaningful message. We're all animals and we all want liberation for animals. So now the story sections begin. अब फर्स्टको स्टोरी भनेको चाहिँ एनिमल नेपालले सबमिट गर्नुभएको स्टोरी हो। यो स्टोरी भनेको चाहिँ गरिमाई चाहिँ सुप्रिम कोर्टले ब्यान गरेपछि पनि 2019मा गरिमाई फेस्टिभल नन्दलेस भयो। अनि त्यसमा चाहिँ उहाँले विटनेस गर्नुभएको फिलिङ्सहरू चाहिँ उहाँको पर्सपेक्टिभबाट लेख्नु भएको छ। सो लेट्स हियर द स्टोरी अफ गरिमाई।
The video was taken on 2nd December 2019, few hours before the main sacrificial event in Garimai. Being surrounded by so much fear and death was incredibly difficult, but I strongly believed in bearing witness to these atrocities, as their stories deserve to be told so that their deaths may not be in vain. On that evening, there were close to 8,000 buffaloes, mostly young calves, imprisoned inside a giant football stadium. They were all being prepared for execution the following morning, in the belief that their death would please the goddess Garimai. Through this day, I struggle to think about my time in Garimai and the atrocities that I witnessed. Mostly, I feel an overwhelming sense of guilt and helplessness, as I did then on the evening of 2nd December. Even until the last moments, somewhere in my heart, I truly believed that something would happen and the whole festival would be cancelled. I prayed to the same goddess, begging for her mercy, really believing that she would listen to me. Standing in front of the rusty iron gates, my mind was racing, trying so hard to think of ways in which they could be rescued. But all I could do in that moment was offer what little comfort I could do to this one calf by letting him suckle on my fingers. I don't know if he remembered that feeling in his last moments, but I still do. I still feel the warmth of his mouth on my fingers. I still see his eyes looking at me through the small gap, and I still blame myself for not being able to save him. The stadium was closed to the public, but was surrounded by a huge crowd of people, just like football fans swept away in excitement at the prospect of being able to see their favorite teams play. And to most of the people there, this is what it was: a spectacle, a brutal show to be enjoyed, to be filmed with their smartphones, a gruesome story to be shared with friends for years to come. I have never been particularly religious, but after spending a few days at the festival, I developed a sense of resentment towards religion. I resented the audacity with which people were corrupting our gods and goddesses. I resented the very gods and goddesses for allowing such atrocities to take place in their name. I resented myself for being there and questioned my own motives. Was it more about me wanting to become a savior, or was I there purely for them? I resented my own sadness and despair, seeing it as an indulgence of my feelings when I'm not the one who lost my life to these religious fanatics. It's been almost a year and a half, and I still haven't really figured out what is the right way to deal with such things or what is the right way to feel. All I know is that his story needs to be shared, in the hope that it may save the life of another one like him. Animal Nepal team.
That was a very heart-touching story. Of course, bearing witness is difficult. It's hard to deal with the emotions, but those stories need to get out more in the public so that events that like those do not repeat again. Let's hope that this footage will circulate and will stop the Garima in future. Now we'll move on to the story of Krishna done by Payal. Payal, the floor is up to you.
Thank you so much. Krishna, the donkey. I am Krishna, a 14-year-old donkey. I am part of the queens, the horses and mules, my friends and my family. We all suffer from this misfortune in one form or the other. And this adversity that we all meet usually starts at this Nepalganj Queen Bazaar, where our bodies are sold as if there is no individuality left in us. And then we are categorized on the basis of labor we need to perform. From Himalayan mules carrying goods up the mountains, mud donkeys carrying mud at the building sites, brick donkeys carrying brick at the brick kilns, tanga horses, traffic people, to entertainment horses for the sake of amusement, be it for horse riding or horse racing, where our life is nothing but a bet. We are all supposed to labor, but with no remuneration. Labor till our lungs gives out and our bodies show signs of lameness and wounds, and yet we are expected to work in vain, as if we were born to serve them, as if these bodies are commodity, continuously beaten, overloaded, and underfed, traumatized, depressed, and drained. Our soul crushes and our body surrenders to fight back for life. We are sold either for the next season or abandoned to the streets where we become scavengers and die. This whole repeated cycle of torment never seems to end. No awareness, legislation, or right for us. Just very few like myself get to taste the liberation in life. Being rescued by the print of humanity left on this earth, I can never undo the trauma inflicted on me, but the new memories that's filled with love and empathy, the companionship of my best friend Fudge, and this home, which has shown me the whole other side of the world, will be engraved in me forever. I was fortunate that my life ended on a beautiful place, but not most of my families are blessed. So I make an appeal to all the beings with humanity left in them to make this world a better place for us. For we deserve the liberation as much as it do. We deserve happiness as much as it do. Thank you.
Thank you, Payal, for sharing the story of Krishna. Definitely, all animals have their independent existence. They are not here for us. And what we are doing to them is just exploitation. Now we'll move on to the next story. The next story will be presented by Bhima. Bhima, are you there?
Yes.
Okay.
So I have written a note for the dogs. So it goes like this. Am I audible?
Yes, you're audible.
Okay. Now. I bark, I whine, I groan, and sometimes I even growl. Here, they like to call me with different names, especially based upon my appearance. Kali, Khairi, Seti, Punte, Chanti, and my not so favorite, Sweetie. Oh, come on. Really, Sweetie? The next door Rambo always makes fun of me when you call me with that name. Next time, please call me Beyonce. I must say, when it comes to sharing beds, eating whatever and whenever I want, and playing till my lungs swell, I am the happiest. When I see you, I love wagging my tail. That's how I like to greet my loved ones, jumping on them and inquiring them, where the F they had been the entire day. I missed you so much. You wouldn't need a wiper when I lay my sticky tongues on you. That bed is all mine, and you get only a small part of it. Sometimes, even if there's no one in this world, I become your only best friend, and even your only family member. When it comes to duty, I'm the only cop of the house. Any sneaky or suspicious people, I make sure I take the shit after them. Because, like everyone, I don't want any my loved ones to get hurt. One of my favorite times of the year is when people decorate me with garlands and tikas. I feel like the king of the world. But seriously, on this day, people please me to please Yama, the god of death, as me and Yama always chat in the messenger. He's a very moody person, and it's hard to get along with people like Yama, which is why people often don't worship me. But I feel very sad and even hurt when I'm not loved and cared. You know what happened? One day, I was just sitting on the side of the road. 6 to 7 people hovered around me and they tied me on this rope and started pulling me so violently. I struggled for air. For a moment, I felt I wouldn't make it. When I got my senses back, I realized these people were from certain political groups trying hard to get the attention. I was so traumatized. I almost lost my faith in humanity. Also, people really love to talk about racism, but when you prefer the exotic breed over someone homeless and hungry like me, I find it very hard to believe. Are we not the same? Here's another incident I would like to share. This day, I was just playing with the kids in the morning, and in the day, when I was going back to my buddies, two men out of nowhere blocked my way and tied me to a pole. For a second, I felt they had something to say, but suddenly this one man raised his hand and hit me. I was I wanted to escape. I was crying for help. I screamed as loud as I could, but nobody heard. The image I had for lovely humans who once fed me and patted me now suddenly were hitting me. They say they were scared of me, but I was scared of my life. My ears, my head, my eyes, you name it. Every inch of my body was in pain. So bad at a moment that I was numb. Then when I realized I won't make it. These are just a few examples where humans were bad to me. There are so many more. And as we grow older and wiser, I wish this earth becomes more better and kinder to a creature like me. I wish I be everyone's best buddy that one can have. I wish being like me, who have been tortured to death, get justice someday. I wish this world would be fair enough to live for everyone, for every being, for me and for my sweetie. Thank you.
Thank you, Vima, for such a wonderful story, yet a sad ending. We need to not buy dogs, adopt street dogs, and we need to raise voice against animal cruelty. The instance of Khaire and many dogs following after him is just heartbreaking. And of course, we need to name them Beyonce, Taylor Swift, and whatnot. Now, upcoming is the story of Elephant by Surajan. Surajan, would you like to take over?
Sure. Thank you, Shobha. मेरो आजको स्टोरी चाहिँ यो सौरामा जुन हामीले राइड्सहरूको लागि जुन युज भइरहेको छ एलिफेन्टहरू, क्याप्टिभेटेड एलिफेन्टहरू, उनीहरूको एउटा फिक्सनल क्यारेक्टरमा बेस्ड भएर लेखेको छु है. So here it goes. Hello all, my name is Prakriti Kali. I'm a 70 years old captivated elephant who has been forced to work for giving safari rides to the visitors in Chitwan, Nepal. I have been lying on the ground for the last few days and I'm feeling very weak. I have gone through this type of situation a couple of times in my life, but I had never felt this much weak. I'm not sure if I'm able to stand up again. My Mahout owner and veterinarians are saying that I'm suffering from a very severe impact of a disease called tuberculosis. But I'm happy. I'm happy to know that I will be finally getting my freedom. Freedom from abuse, freedom from pain and torture, freedom to be with my mama in the heaven, freedom to live the life I want. Naturally, we Asian elephants are raised by our mama and grandmama, and we generally live with them in a group for our whole life, along with our friends. As far as I remember, I was around 3 years old when I was trapped and captured by humans. It was a monsoon season and a very chilling day with gentle rain. I was walking beside my mama in our group and playing with her friends at the same time. We were playing hide and seek. One of my friends pulled my tail with his trunk and hid himself somewhere. I was trying to find him from the back and surprise him, but suddenly I fell into a pit from where I couldn't escape. My mama ran and came near me and tried to help me escape from the pit, but she couldn't. She was helpless, and so do I. She was just crying over there, continuously trying, and I was also crying with fear and sadness. But every effort was going in vain. Next day, some people arrived and tried to scare my mama with some sharp weapons on their hand, but she resisted. After some time, I heard a couple of gunshots, and suddenly my mother fell on the ground. She cried for some time looking at me, and then she stopped. I still have the image of her teary eyes on my mind, which I could never forget. I was still crying, but those people tied my body and my legs forcefully, and then I was pulled into a big truck. Then I was taken somewhere where there were lots of elephants like me. Again, I was tied on a big pole tightly with a rope and was forced to follow their instruction. There were lots of people surrounding me. That was the time when they jabbed me with a sharp metal hook, and then such actions were followed by hitting me with a stick, sitting on my neck forcefully, and scaring me with the fire. I screamed loudly, but again, another hard hit with the stick. I felt numb. Tears rolled down from my eyes. Slowly, they stopped providing me food and water, but not the torture. After many days, when I followed their instruction with no energy left on my body to fight, I was provided some food and water. Then I realized that only way to get food and water was to continue following their instruction. I think this is what humans call in their world as breaking the spirit. After being tamed, I was deployed for giving rides to the people. A wooden saddle weighing more than 100 kg was placed on my back, and then the lures of big belly people. It was very uncomfortable, but whenever I tried to reject that, I was harmed with a sharp pointed metal bull hook. It was very painful, so I did everything instructed to keep myself safe. Besides the time of giving rides, I was kept tied on my shelter with spiky chains on my legs. Even an inch of an extra pull was painful for me. I do remember my mahou beating me every day. One day, I became pregnant and gave birth to my lovely daughter, who was named as Sona Kali by my owner and mahouts. After my separation with my family, I was never so happy. Sona's arrival in my life was one of my best moments. Best part was that I felt accompanied by someone all the time who could really make me happy. Her playful habits were always fascinating for me. I thought that I thought that my days to remain sad was over and I was beginning to start my happy days. Suddenly, one day after 4 years of Sona's birth, my mahouts came, chained me, and took my Sona away from me. At the very moment, Sona was also crying and desperately trying to keep herself away from those people, but she was beaten and tied with rope and pulled away from me forcefully. I was also trying to reach my daughter, but I couldn't. Then I knew that my daughter's life is going to be a hell like mine. Few days after that, I suffered from a disease called post-traumatic stress disorder. I couldn't keep myself from the I could not keep away myself from the memories of Sona, but there was no hope of seeing her again. Since then, my habit of head bobbing started. I was continuously moving my head without any necessity due to stress. Since then, I became a little bit aggressive. One day, when I was in the jungle for foods with my mahout, I was beaten so hardly by my drunkard mahout that I couldn't control my aggression, which resulted to his death. Later that day, I was punished severely by other mahouts for my behavior. I again cried and tried to show my aggression, but I was chained, and the beating continued. After a few years of that incident, I was sold to another owner in a country called Nepal. Although it was illegal to do any trade of endangered species of wildlife like us, according to CITES, India and Nepal have been doing such trade for long due to its open border. Reaching Nepal, I was brought to a place called Chitwan, where different mahouts were assigned to me. It was hard to have somebody new around me, but I adjusted. Same routine as in India. I was assigned to give rides to the tourist. Whole day was simply exhausting and stressful. Many years passed with the same daily routine. As my owner in Nepal was in need of money, he again sold me to another owner in India. I was illegally traded again, but this time I was sold to be a temple elephant. I had never felt so irritated on my entire life than being a temple elephant. Loud noises of crackers, musical instruments, crowds, heavy ornaments on my body, and people who come there in the temple to worship were touching me every time. It is told that we are the symbol of Lord Ganesh, so they used to worship us, but I never once felt in my life that they respect us like the same. One day, there was a temple function going, and lots of elephants were kept at the same place. At the same time, one of the elephants went on rampage and killed his mahout on the spot. On the other day, I saw fresh scars and wounds on his forehead, still giving rights to the devotees. After working for more than a decade, I was again sold to Nepal. Again, same old routine as safari elephant. I have already been suffering from TB for a quite long time and has been sick for a couple of times, but I never lied on ground like this before. I'm quite older now, and I know I cannot fight this anymore. Thank you.
Thank you, Surajan, for such heart-touching story. The story of Prakriti Kali only tells us that how we as humans have been exploiting animals, making them face continuous cycle of cruelty. Wild animals, no matter how tame they are, no matter how much spirit, wild spirit it is broken, they still have their wild spirit within them, and it is wrong to support that form of exploitation. So let's say no to elephant riding. Now, the next story is brought by Vaibhav on pigs. Vaibhav, take over the floor.
Hello, namaste. मलाई सबैले सुन्नुभएको छ? I hope so.
Yes, you're audible.
Okay, awesome. Thank you. म सुरु गरेँ है। My life, as a human would call it, is humane and purposeful. It has been anything but. I'm approximately 8 years old now, and I have been tattooed a symbol A on my back. I think it is because the last batch of kids I had were all aborted and I just had a miscarriage. It has been very painful. I have seen the same A marked on other mothers who have also had similar experience of miscarriage as I did. When I was just 5 months old, I was caged in with a much older, experienced, mature bull. He made me his slave. For 3 weeks, I was battered and bruised, defenseless and raped as and when he liked. For 3 weeks straight, I had no escape. I was jailed in with him. I was his to be used. Pregnant now, I was moved to a pen where I couldn't move or even turn. There was a steel pipe in front of me where dirty water and forced tasteless food passed down once a day. Unable to turn or even scratch my itches, I was forced to lay on my own waist. I had no option but to sit and hope my children that I'm bearing will never have to fare what I am going through. As I lay on my own excrements, I dream of lush green grass where I can play and breathe fresh air with the taste of earth in the breeze blowing through my body. Bathing in a mud pool, moisturizing my skin and warding off all the pesky flies. A pen of my own where I decorate, where I can birth according to my own choice without being raped, with someone of my own choosing who I love and I adore. I am woken up suddenly and I'm going into labor now. It has been an extremely difficult 3 months, 3 weeks, unable to move or to twist on a concrete floor, excrements filled steel pen. I give birth to my 10 healthy, beautiful bastard children of my own. Amongst the hell around me, I finally find some happiness. 10 healthy, beautiful babies. I am a mother now. I want to love them, kiss them, lick them, milk them. I want a life for them that is better than that of my own. Unable to move for 3 weeks straight after giving birth, my children just drink my milk. I have not been able to show them any affection. I am barred due to the steel fences separating me and my children. It is heartbreaking. My own children, and I can't touch them or kiss them or even love them. After 3 weeks, they are taken away from me. As I'm milking them, I see from the corner of my eyes my children's tail being mutilated, teeth being pulled out of their own mouth, and the boys, they're being neutered, all without any anesthesia or any painkillers. They are crying and screaming to me for the. I am helpless. My hell just got worse. After a month and a half of me being deprived of my children, not knowing where they are, I am again pitted in the same pen with the same bull who raped me just 6 months ago. This time, I know what I'm in for and what awaits me. I am scared, but I'm helpless. This cycle continues over and over again for the next 7 years until I finally have my first miscarriage. Now, with the A marked on my back, I am led away. I am weak and fragile and tired, unable to move. When I finally see my human caretaker pointing a round cold steel double barrel between my eyes, bang, I am no more. Thank you.
Thank you, Vaibhav. It really tells the story of a mother. We all have same bodily experience. We all are someone's brother, sister, mother, or father. And that is what we need to learn. We need to unlearn these specific values that are inscribed by our society. Now, moving on, I would like to call Vidya for the story of Ox. Vidya, are you there?
मेरो नेटै चलिरहेन अर्कै अर्कै गरिरहेछ
Okay, then Vidya will play the recording.
नमस्कार सबैजनालाई मेरो नाम गोरु हो म नेपालको हिमाल पहाड तराई लगायत काठमाडौँ उपत्यकामा पनि सजिलै भेटिन सक्छु मेरो पनि मानिसको जस्तै आफ्नै परिवार छ र आज म मेरो मनका वेदनाहरू पोख्न चाहन्छु तपाईहरूलाई थाहा छ म जन्मिँदा मानिसहरू कति खुसी हुन्छन् भनेर त्यो देख्दा मलाई पनि खुसी लागेको थियो तर उनीहरूले तपाईहरूलाई थाहा छ म जन्मिँदा तर उनीहरूले त्यो खुसी पाउँदा मलाई नै बिर्सिँदा रहेछन् उनीहरूको लागि म दूत नमस्कार सबैजनालाई मेरो नाम गोरु हो म नेपालको हिमाल पहाड तराई लगायत काठमाडौँ उपत्यकामा पनि सजिलै भेटिन सक्छु मेरो पनि मानिसको जस्तै आफ्नै परिवार छ र आज म मेरो मनका वेदनाहरू पोख्न चाहन्छु तपाईहरूलाई थाहा छ म जन्मिँदा मानिसहरू कति खुसी हुन्छन् भनेर त्यो देख्दा मलाई पनि खुसी लागेको थियो तर उनीहरूले त्यो खुसी पाउँदा मलाई नै बिर्सिँदा रहेछन् उनीहरूको लागि म दूतको आगमनको प्रमाण मात्र रहेछु म चाहन्छु कि म जन्मिँदा उनीहरूको त्यो खुसी र मेरो अधिकार खोलाको दुई किनारा जस्तै कहिले नभेटिने नहुन् यिनीहरू पानीका थोपा जस्तै एक डिकाकार समावेश हुन् अरू दिन त छँदैछ जन्मेको दिन पनि मैले मेरी आमाको दुध पुरा खान पाउँदिन त्यसलाई उनीहरू बिगौती मानेर खान्छन्
त्यो मेरी आमाको दुध मेरो लागि हो, मानिसहरूको लागि होइन। मानिसहरू एक अर्काले आधी पेट सुतेको भोको भएको देख्ने सक्छन्, तर मेरो भोक अनि आधी पेट सुतेको कसैले देखेनन्। त्यस्तै म जति जति बढ्दै गए मलाई अरू यातना थपिन थाल्छ। यी मानिसहरू पहाडी क्षेत्रमा मलाई कुटी कुटी खेतबारी जोत्न लगाउँछन्। मलाई जोत्न सकिन भने मलाई अझै कुर्छन्। मलाई दुख्छ, मलाई गाह्रो भएको नजोतोस्, एकछिन थकै मारोस् भन्ने कोही हुँदैन। कुनै ठाउँमा मलाई सामान बोक्न लगाउँछन्। म माथि मान्छे पनि चढ्छन्। म पनि एउटा जीवित प्राणी हो, मलाई नि दुख्छ, तर यो मेरो कुरा सुनिदिने कोही भएनन्। मानिसहरूको जस्तै हाम्रो पनि केटा जाति र केटी जाति हुन्छन्, तर उनीहरूले म प्रति गर्ने व्यवहार मेरो लिङ्गमा आधारित हुन्छ। कतिपय ठाउँमा म केटा भएको कारणले प्राय सहरहरूमा म जन्मिने बित्तिकै अथवा जन्मेको केही वर्षमा सडकमा छोडिदिने गर्छन्। म केटा भए रे, मैले दुध दिन्न रे, उनीहरूलाई व्यापारमा घाटा हुन्छ रे। किन सोच्दैनन् कि यिनीहरू पनि हामी जस्तै प्राणी हो, यिनीहरूलाई पनि हामीलाई जस्तै आवास र घाँसको आवश्यकता पर्छ। त्यसरी सडकमा छोड्दा मैले खान पाउँदैन, भोकका कारण फोहोर खानुपर्छ, पानी पर्दा भिज्नुपर्छ। त्यसमाथि मान्छेको त्यो मानवता नभएको मन बिना कारण भौतारिएको भोको प्राणीलाई कुट्ने गर्छन्। मेरो लागि बोलिदिने कोही छैनन्। म चाहन्छु मेरो लागि, मेरो अधिकारको लागि कोही बोलिदियोस्। के तपाईँ बोलिदिनुहुन्छ?
पक्कै पनि उनीहरूका लागि हामीले नै बोल्नुपर्छ। हाम्रो समाजमा के छ भन्दाखेरि हिन्दू समाज भएको कारणले गर्दाखेरि बाच्छाहरूलाई राम्रो ट्रिटमेन्ट गरिन्छ भन्ने छ, तर त्यो चाहिँ यथार्थ नहुन सक्छ। सो हामीले चाहिँ त्यही सधैँ याद गरिराख्नुपर्छ। सो अब आउने स्टोरी भनेको चाहिँ अक्सा नेपालको स्टोरी हो। यो चाहिँ हामीले गर्ने एक्टिभिटिजहरूले कस्तोसम्मको इम्प्याक्ट पार्न सक्छ भन्ने बारेमा छ र यो स्टोरी चाहिँ सुनौँ।
A heart-wrenching story of Kali. This is our adorable chubby girl Kali, who never got tired of welcoming us with her wagging tail and lovely smiles. She had always been very appreciating of the food and love she used to get. But life is so uncertain and unpredictable, and more cruel. We lost her a day before Gugutihar, and the way we found her moved our heart. Due to fear of crackers, she tried to interrogate and unfortunately got herself stuck in the gate. She was stuck for one whole night. She screamed with pain, but her voice was suppressed under the loud noise of crackers and sound sleep of heartless people. With a great fear of firecrackers, anxiety, and lack of empathy, our Kali lost her life struggling to get out of the gate. While Kali loved humans for her whole life, her voice for help wasn't heard by the people who lived under those big houses. Thousands of birds, dogs, and other animals die out of shock, fear, and accidents during Tihar. Spare a thought for the creatures who cannot speak up. Say no to crackers.
हामीहरूले हाम्रो डे टु डे एक्टिभिटिज गर्दाखेरि सधैँभरि आफ्नो इन्जोयमेन्ट मात्र ध्यानमा राख्नु हुँदैन। अरूहरूलाई के हुन सक्छ, अरू मानिसहरू मात्र नभएर जनावरहरूलाई के हुन सक्छ भन्ने पनि ख्याल राख्नुपर्छ भन्ने यो स्टोरीले हामीलाई भनेको छ। थ्याङ्क यू Payal for voiceover, and thank you Aksa Nepal for sending the story. Now the next story is by Dipesh. It is regarding the use of chicken in our society.
Okay, hello everyone. Today I'm going to tell a poetry about a life in a case of a chicken. Today I'm excited. Today I'll be free. I look to the left and right to me. It's my last source of some sympathy. My fellow casemates have their heads hung low. Their feathers were white, now there's none. We haven't felt the soil nor seen the sun, only breathe of ammonia and lungs burn. Sometimes, when the huge door opens, I try to have a glimpse outside. Outside, I see the blue sky, green grass, and butterflies. I wish to stretch my wings someday, and I wonder how it feels when the wind blows and rain falls, how it feels when a cuckoo calls. Is it possible to have it all? My friends say us chicken were meant for the world outside, but all we know is this concrete hall, laying eggs till the night falls, wondering if this is all. I'm excited today. No, I'm not going to be set free, but today I'll be sent to the slaughterhouse. Finally, I'll know how the wind feels. I had to say, I looked to the end. I lived a life devoid of fresh air, devoid of sun and kindness and compassion of my friends. All I remember is this small hall with thousands like me, broken bones and broken wings. Their necks snapped and they were killed. Today I'm excited because this will the end. Thank you.
Thank you, Dipesh, for the insight from the life of a chicken. N- uh, Now I'll be telling the story from the perspective of fish. Hi, I could be Nemo or Aquafish, just like Aquaman, you see. But sadly, trillions of my friends are murdered every year, unnecessarily. Let me tell you, the worst part is that the trillion lives are measured in tons, not representative of actual casualties and lives lost. Apart from being murdered, we are also kept in prison, aquariums, and sea world, you see. My smaller friends are bred into captivity, while my larger cousins, like dolphin, whales, seals, are abducted from sea and sometimes even bred into captivity. We are forced to live in tiny tanks instead of endless blue and vast ocean. We are taught tricks which give them nothing but stress. Frustration and pain lurks in those aquariums and SeaWorld. We, uh, we are nothing. We are nothing. The aquariums and SeaWorld teach nothing of the natural environment but just cruelty. My feelings aren't considered feelings. Our feelings aren't considered feelings. But let me tell you, we have the capacity to process, feel, and react to the pain, just like you humans. It pains to see my friends die. Some die a slow, painful death, suffocating, grasping for a breath of water. Some have their head slammed with heavy objects till the blood splatter, and some are decapitated alive. Adding insult to injury, environment pollution, plastic, overfishing, and bycatch has been reason for decline of our species. By year 2050, it is estimated that the ocean will go fishless. And you might use straw to save the fishes, but let me tell you, keeping us off the plate is the best thing you can do. And your friends might say fishes are best source of omega-3, but tell them to eat something else, seaweed, algae, or any other supplements, because I don't want to die. And let me speak on behalf of gazillions of my friends. We don't want to die. Thank you. So the next story is by Shekhar. He has written the story of a goat. Now we'll move on to his story. Sorry for interrupting that video. We have technical difficulties. We'll move on to the story by Sanjana. Sanjana, are you there?
Yes, just give me a minute.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you so much, Soba Didi and Kathmandu Animal Safe for this opportunity. So my story is about a street cat. Um, Hello, I am a cat. My mom gave me birth a year ago, and I don't seem to remember much from those times. What I do remember is my siblings meowing all day long, and my mom's tongue licking all over my body. Those were the happy days until I found somebody who placed us in a box from a very cozy and warm place and threw us away on a chilly and cold water. My mother struggled to take us out of the water, but she couldn't save our brother, and it's still a dark memory to me. My sister started meowing louder, indicating my mom that she was very hungry. My mother, fully drenched and shivering herself, still breastfed my sister and protected her with her coat. She has always been like that, selfless and always kept us first. The very next day, sun rose and the rays were falling on my chest. I was grateful for the warmth that covered my body until I found my sister's dead body. My mom was covered in tears and lied there unsettled, and then my eyes went to my other sibling who was covered in blood. I went near to her, trying her to wake up, but none of my attempt worked, and I found her neck and body wrenched off. I was terrified and frightened with all the terror that happened to me that early morning. I rewound my whole life and realized all my siblings had died. I had only one question that looked around in my head. Why did that cruel man throw away from the warm land? Now I have only my mom left who is devastated and depressed. I went to her chest and nodded my head, and she carried me to a different place. She taught me how to eat, hunt, and survive even on empty stomach. She taught me to be independent and to be aware of this world, which is a hell for us. Sometimes someone would come to play with us, take us with them, and when they are done with their games, abandon us again. One day I found somebody picking me up and looking at my face. I could sense her emotions showing empathy to me and speaking word to me that I didn't understand, but I felt what she meant. But then the bad memories and the nightmares of the pain that human caused to us start coming rushing to my mind. Right then my mom hissed to her, and when she tried to touch my mom, she bit her off. I didn't know at that time why my mom acted that way, but I realized it's all because of the human who were cruel to us. Today, the lady then whispered to her friends saying that we are suffering from mange and we need to be treated before it was too late. She took us into her home, cared and protected us, fed us food that had no dirt in it. I was amazed how it tasted so good. Few days later, I couldn't find my mom around and I was left alone with tears. The human loved me very much, but I still searched my mom. But one day she said me my mom was gone. I asked where she was gone, and the human told me she has gone to a place filled with peace. It turned out she was very sick and in pain, so unfortunately, they had to give her peaceful retirement. I appeal to every listener to be gentle with us because if the human were not cruel the way they are, I still would be playing with my siblings and friends. We never wished for you harm, so we hope you don't harm us back. Thank you. Didi, I guess your mic is off.
We can't hear you. Can't hear you.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. Thank you, Sanjana, for such heartwarming story. Now I'll move on to Narayani's story. I think Narayani is not here. So, oh, sorry. Now I'll move on to Abhimanyu's story. It is about a baby bull, and Abhimanyu, take the floor.
Hi, am I audible?
Yes, you're audible.
Okay, hello everyone. I'm going to read a story of a bull calf. So let me start. Hey, do you remember me? I should have guessed. You probably don't, but I do. You pass by me every other day. I look at you for help, but you tend to squeeze your face and try to get as far away from me as possible. My entire day passes beside the road looking for food and help. Some days I get them, but most of the time I don't. I see the crowd every day, yet I'm alone and no one cares about me. I'm a bull calf with no name and no place to call home. This is my everyday story, and this may be where it ends, but this isn't how it began. I was born 2 years ago on a dairy farm near Kathmandu. I spent my early hours with my mother. She had lovely eyes, and I loved how they looked at me. A couple of hours later, some men took me away from her, and I remember her tears and the sound of her crying. I was kept in a confined stall with some others like me. We all wanted our mother's milk, so we tried getting away, but we couldn't. Those men who took me away brought us food and milk twice a day, but I remember that wasn't my mother's milk. I guess they fed me a milk replacement formula. My early life, I was always sad and desperate to suckle. I didn't have room to walk around or play. My childhood was a sad memory, and it only got worse. Almost 6 months ago, those men took me away from the stall. I don't know where. It was almost dark, and they left me beside a lonely street. I was afraid and terrified. I cried for help and walked around. I didn't know where to go. Street dogs barked at me. They took away my breath. I thought that night was going to be the last night of my life. The next morning, I tried searching for my mom and the stall, but I didn't find anywhere to go. I was hungry and thirsty. I saw some garbage piled up. I didn't have any choice than to eat whatever I got. My stomach hurt. I wasn't prepared for all this. Days passed looking at the people for help, but they always went far away from me. Some people chased me away, and some threw stones at me. I didn't have a home to live, and to add up to my grief, it rained. I got drenched in rain all day. I have survived throughout, but I have a miserable life, all thanks to fellow humans who wanted my mother's milk. The glass of milk you drink costed me my childhood, all the suffering, and my entire life. The milk my mother produced is for me, not for you. You tend to worship me on the day of Govardhan Puja and Tiyar festival. It makes no sense on worshipping me for one day. Rather, help me have a wonderful life. I didn't ask you for anything more. I just want to live a happy life with my family. Put yourself in my place and look at my life. Do you really think this is how I was meant to live? Oh, wait, what's happening? Where am I? I got carried away and walked to the middle of the street while I told my story. The truck is coming towards me. It's really getting close. Wait, let me get away from this first. The bull calf was hit by the truck, and some days later, he died as he didn't get the treatment. Anyone barely cared. The dairy was consumed. The dairy we consume killed another suffering yet beautiful soul. Remove dairy products from your diet and be a part of creating a kinder world. There are plenty of other plant-based options to create enough calcium for your body. Go vegan to create a beautiful world for everyone. Thank you.
Yes, indeed, very true. We can get plenty of calcium from plant-based diet, and we don't need for a baby bull to suffer or a baby mother cow to suffer for that glass of milk. Now, moving on, we'll be featuring the story of Narayani about a baby goat. And since she is not here, we'll be playing her recording.
I'm a kid. My name is Mono. Aisma named me Mono. I am 45 days old. I was born along with my two twin sisters. Aisma won't leave for school until she hugs and kisses us. We three are living the best days of our lives. We have mama's warm milk, we dance, jump and play all day long. Aisma is youngest member of our home. She keeps me in her lap. I love to take a quick nap in her lap. Aisma's grandfather shouts, "Human warmth is not good for kids. It makes them sick. They should be set free." As soon as Aisma sets us free in the ground, I run to my mama, flapping my long ears. When I was a month old, my mama told us her story. Every year she gives birth. She has given birth to 20 children, and not a single child is with her right now. Every year she gives birth with the hope of spending her life with her children, but she is left with deep pain and a crack in her heart every single time. Many of my brothers and sisters were slaughtered in Dasai. Before Aisma was born, one of my brothers was sent to Garimai as a vow. My mother was in fear and pain when she shared her story. She told us that if something happens to us any day, we should cry and try to run. She further added, "You will sense it on your own." From that, we used to be. One cold morning, Aisma's grandparents came to us in a silent way. They lifted me and handed to Aisma's dad. I could sense danger. I cried and asked for help. My mama was trying to untangle the rope, but she couldn't. She cried terribly. I couldn't even say bye to my mom. I heard Aisma's grandfather's voice. "Hope this time we'll have a grandson. Hurry up, Aisma will be awake." My teary eyes searched for Aisma. When the man reached the gate, I heard Aisma crying and screaming my name, "My Munu, my Munu." I was tired of crying and I fell asleep. When I opened my eyes, I could see myself in a temple. Aisma's dad tied a red piece of cloth around my neck and left me on the premises of the temple. He didn't even look back. I spent several days without dancing, jumping, just shivering and crying there, waiting for my mom, Aisma, or some divine interference to save me from this pain. I would search for water and warmth of my mom. On third day, a lady lifted me up. It was a late evening. She covered me with her shawl, took me to her home, fed me milk with a help bottle. It felt safe and good. Am I rescued? But who knows? Aisma's grandfather, who said kids should be set free, was the one who separated me away from my mom. Though separated from my mom, will I leave my life or face the destiny of my brothers and sisters? I don't know what tomorrow holds for me. All humans are hypocrites, I guess. Are you an exception?
Definitely a powerful message. There is always an argument that if animals are raised humanly, somehow we get the right to kill them. But when they are raised humanly, it is just about breach of trust. We are breaking their trust, and death is painful no matter what. So we should keep that in mind. And moving on to the next story, it is by Esther about sloth bear. Esther, are you there? Seems like she is not available right now. So we'll be playing her recording.
Hi, I'm Sloth Bear. I'm huge with saggy fur, with long sickle-shaped claws. The sloth bears had huge numbers of family, but humans diminished our population for our claws, food, and products like bakula. I am a rare animal, and they say they want to protect my identity, but they torture me instead. Some used me as entertainment, some teased me. I don't know what did I do to deserve the humiliation I get. I hate to go on with it, but what else can I do? They took me away from my origin. Now they keep me at a small space with bars as if I'm a prisoner. I'm innocent, but I'm kept at a small cage with a tree almost dead, no grass to be found, and no friends to be seen. I try to get out, but it seems impossible to me. Maybe this is where I'm supposed to be. I feel frustrated, I feel depressed, I don't know why I'm punished. Why am I here, away from my family, away from my home, in this tiny room where I suffer being alone? I don't know why humans tease me, I don't know why they throw stones. They know it hurts me, still they go on and do more. Aren't they more intelligent than me? Aren't they smart? I don't understand. Why am I tortured this way? Is it because I'm weak? Sometimes I wonder about being in jungle, being with my family, enjoying my land. I remember my mom carrying me on her back when I was small. Oh wait, is she also treated like me? Out of frustration, I peek out of the little gaps of the bars. I see more animals like me, trapped and as miserable as me. I feel sorry for them because I know how it feels. They sometimes forget to feed me, sometimes I'm left thirsty. I did not need them to protect me. I could take care of myself if they let me be in my place. At least I would be happy. I feel suffocated, I feel in pain. I want to break walls and run away, but then I might get killed instead. I'm stuck in between these walls and so many more of me. I know there's better place to be if they let me be free. I have nothing to do anymore. I just sit and hope to be free, that someday I'll be laying in grass in my home where I'm meant to be. I'll hope that's all I can do. I'll hope to be free. I hope to see humanity. I'll hope for better things to be. Staying between these walls, I'll hope to be free. Thank you.
Great story by Esther. As zoo is not a place to learn about natural environment. Zoo is not a place to learn about animals. If we want to learn about animals, we should definitely check out National Geographic. It is the best way to learn. Now we'll move on to the story by Payal. It is about our mother cow. Payal.
So this is a poem I wrote for the Mother's Day, and it's called The Journey of the Mother. You can play it, Sova.
The journey of a mother. Who better than a mother discerned the agony of a separation of a child from her just when she was starting to rejoice motherhood, just when her child is a day old and still humans have the audacity to plunder her baby's food, just so they can taste a glass of milk, shredded cheese and smooth butter on their plate. Who better than a mother would want to end her ordeal, the ordeal to stare at her child being dragged to the two doors of hell, either to be sold as a veal or for leather, or to be pumped full of antibiotics and hormones and operate like a milk-producing machine like herself? Who better than a mother could fathom enslavement, who are rip-racked with farmer's hand and artificially pregnanted for their whole life, and yet deprived of their offsprings, whose body is not theirs to begin with, but a machine to humans, whose will, consent, comfort, and needs have no room in the concealment of the dairy industry, whose emotions and personality traits are impenetrable to the human eyes, who are entitled with free range and organic just to sugarcoat the harsh realities they suffer, who are still deprived of the basic rights, and when they drain out and no longer fruitful to humans, getting piled one over another, who mourn and sob on the way to the slaughterhouse or to the streets when killing them is banned, who are said to be killed humanely when we all know that doesn't make sense, who better than a mother would endure her life, which was never a life to begin with, but just a piece of meat, a glass of milk, and huge source of dollar bills. To all those forgotten mother cows enslaved by humans, a very happy Mother's Day. Hoping that the word happy will soon exist in your life and your motherhood will soon be given justice.
Contrary to what we believe, cow do not give milk, a mother gives milk. So we don't need cow's milk or any other animal's milk to survive. We just need calcium. We need to learn that. And thank you, Payal, for such a strong message. If you haven't figured out, हाम्रो एउटा एन्डिङ सेरिमोनीमा चाहिँ मेमोरियल फेजको एन्डिङ सेरिमोनीमा चाहिँ हामी दियो वा क्यान्डल लाइट गरेर साथसाथै एनिमलको पिक्चर्स देखाएर 2 मिनटको मौन धारण गर्नेछौँ. सो इफ यु हेभन्ट प्रिपेयर्ड इट्स अ काइन्ड रिमाइन्डर टु प्रिपेयर. नभए पनि केही छैन, वी क्यान डु इट नन्दलेस. त्यो पनि प्रिपेयर हुँदा लाइक सोलिडारिटी हुन्छ भने मात्र हो. नाउ I think the goat story by Shekhar is figured out. We will get to you shortly.
Goat. I am a goat born from a mother, just like you. I woke up to this beautiful world, and just as I learned to take a few steps, my steps were tied by ropes. Just as the excitement of life began, I saw hopelessness in my mother's eyes. Her eyes were sad. I didn't know then why, but that day I decided to stay happy around my mom no matter what. We were mostly tied and occasionally left loose only to graze. But I rejoiced those moments playing and jumping around the hills. I tried to make best out of the situation. My mother and I communicated with our language, which they, the humans, couldn't discern. I couldn't understand their language either, but I was happy to be my mother's side. But one day they came. They came in a group. My mother was in agony of separating with me. I was scared as well. I might have been 5 or 6 months old, but the memory is so fresh, like it happened yesterday. This means they held me against my will. They violated me. I felt extreme pain. I felt like death would be better. Later on, I found out they do this painful process to all of us. They called it castration. Those wounds are still fresh in my mind, but I tried to be content when I could see my mother again. She looked at me and understood what exactly had happened. Perhaps it has happened to my brothers whom I couldn't meet, and perhaps it will happen to those brothers whom I will never meet. But days went back to old routine, being tired, occasionally left loose. I tried to be happy around my mother. One day, the man who usually feeds me came, but this time without any need. He untied the rope which was tied to a pole and took few others goat along with me. I thought he was taking us for a trip to graze in hills or something. I felt bad because my mother wouldn't be able to join. She was left behind. I saw her crying in tears and shouting, but I didn't understand why. He took us in a weird thing, a big rectangle which rolled in the ground like wind. We were tied at the roof. Some of us had to sit inside a dark cave inside a rectangle thing. They called it bus. We felt hungry. It was uncomfortable. We rode from sunrise to sunset. Finally, we came to a destination. To my surprise, it wasn't green hills for us to graze. It was opposite of that. No greenery inside, but a lot of them staring at us. They waited my weight and my friends too. We were fed some maize. Then I thought the man who usually feeds us will take me to the home. But surprisingly, a stranger came and took us. He took 10 of us with him in a smaller rectangle thing. We reached to destination, but it smelled of blood and dead. When I saw one of my brother's feet chopped and his body displayed outside, I finally understood. I understood why mother was sad when I was born. Her eyes were telling me to run away, her gestures of that man and many like him. They drooled in at mother's milk and cared only for my body's flesh. I understood why she cried a river and shouted a storm when they took me away. She understood what was going to happen to me. As the stranger man approached me to take my life, I grasped one last breath and remembered my mother and all the torture her mind, her soul, and her body was repeatedly gone through.
Thank you, Shekhar, for that heartfelt story. Definitely, it is a breach of trust, as we said earlier, and it is a violation of a mother, a violation of the child, and it is a very horrific process. Now, it wasn't possible to pay homage to every animals that died from human hands. So we will be just sharing some snippets from the pictures, and we'll we will pay memorial through that. Now, we'll pay memorial to buffaloes first. And now let's pay memorial to ducks. And now let's pay memorial to fowls. Now let's pay memorial to horse. Now let's pay memorial to rabbit. So the population of rabbit in the year 2075-76 was 446,000. The population of pig produced within the Nepal was 14,88,000. That was 39.76 increase in 10 years. And 28.5 crore kg of meat is produced within Nepal. It doesn't include import of live animals or imported meat. The population of horse in the year was 59.8 thousand. It doesn't include imported. The population of goat in the year 2075-76 was 1 crore 22 lakh. 7 crore kg meat is produced within Nepal. It doesn't include the imported ones. The population of fowl in the year 2075 and 76 was 7 crore 57,000, which is 193% increase in the last 10 years. There are 8 crore 86.8 crore kg of fish produced in Nepal, and in Kalimati alone 40,000 kg of fishes are brought per day. It doesn't include the fishes that are imported. The population of chicken are 1 crore 25 lakh, and it is 71.81% increase in last 10 years. 63 crore kg meat was produced, and it doesn't include imported or boiler chicken. So we'll move on to the next phase of the memorial. So I request everyone to gather their candle or diyo and light with us. Also keep picture of animal with you if you have. And we'll begin 2 minutes of silence. Thank you everyone for doing this with us. Now we will end the memorial session with a declaration of animal rights, which will be read by our very young activist Eva Tongol. And we will link the Google Doc for signing of animal declaration. Yeah, you can sign the document there.
Am I audible?
Yes, you're audible.
The Declaration of Animal Rights. Since the dawn of humanity, there remains a group so persistently abused and marginalized that the suffering is ingrained in our everyday lives. If animals could freely talk, the chorus of cries would drown out every other sound in the world. We are all animals. We are all living, breathing beings who share the same earth. We all feel pain and suffer when we are hurt or deprived of our lives, our families, our freedom. We all have the right to experience kindness, compassion, and dignity. We believe in the kinship of all beings and the possibility for us to coexist in peace and harmony on planet Earth. Considering that all living beings on planet Earth came originally from the same source and follow the same evolutionary principles. Considering that all living beings on planet Earth inhabited the same lands, seas, and air, and therefore share them and their resources to live within and to live off of compromising one ecological system. Considering that all living beings possess the same basic needs to survive, to seek happiness and pleasure and avoid pain, to live comfortably, to procreate, create families and other social structures. Considering that all living beings, as known to humankind, are sentient beings and therefore can feel pain, pleasure, sensation, feelings, and emotions. Considering that the human species is only one of million of animal species and comprises of minute minority in number compared to the billions of animals living on this planet. We hereby proclaim that we hold this truth to be self-evident, that all beings are created equally and have a right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of their happiness. Therefore, all animals have the same natural right to exist as any other living beings. All animals have the right to be free, to live the lives on their own terms, as intended by nature. All animals have the right to be free, to live their life on their own terms, as intended by nature. All animals have the right to eat, sleep, be physically and psychologically comfortable, be mobile, healthy, safe, and fulfill all their natural and essential needs. As such, all animals are to be free from hunger, thirst, and malnutrition, physical discomfort and exhaustion, confinement against their will, bad treatment, abusive or cruel actions, pain, injury, and diseases, fear and distress, and free to express their normal patterns of behavior. All animals have the right to reproduce, live with their offspring, families, tribes, or communities, and maintain a social life. They have the right to live in their natural environment, grow to a rhythm natural to their species, and maintain a life that corresponds to their natural longevity. Animals are not the properties or commodities of humans and are not theirs to be used for the benefits or sustenance. Therefore, they are to be free from slavery, exploitation, oppression, victimization, brutality, abuse, and any other treatment that discards their safety, own free will, and dignity. They should not be slaughtered for food, killed for their skins, experimented on, killed for religious purposes, used for forced labor, abused and killed for sports and entertainment, abused for commercial profit, hunted, persecuted, or exterminated for human pleasure, need, or other ends. Humans shall do whatever is within their means to protect all animals. Any animal who is dependent on a human has the right to proper sustenance and care, and shall not be neglected, abandoned, or killed. Animals who have died must be treated with respect and dignity, as humans are. We call for the protection of these rights. They must be recognized and defended by law, as human rights are. Any act which compromises the well-being or survival of an animal or species or geoparasites, contradicts, or deprives an animal or species of the rights listed above should be deemed a crime and should be punished accordingly. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Eva, for voicing out the Declaration of Animal Rights. I hope that everyone have signed the form you provided by the chat here. Now we are going to move to the next phase. That's a celebration phase. As Soba explained, that we here are also to celebrate the progress that's being made towards ending the suffering of animals. And this day will continue to be observed until all the animals in the world are free from the enslavement and their rights are established and protected by law. So to start the session, I would like to welcome our speakers,
Payal, are you there? Payal, are you there? अरूले पनि पायललाई सुन्न सक्नु भएको छ कि छैन?
छैन I think net के भएन.
Yeah, maybe net she got disconnected. So the next on our agenda is celebrating the progress we have been making on for animal rights, and it will be convened by speech by Srishti Didi. Srishti Didi, I invite you to give a speech.
Hi everyone, can you hear me?
Yes, you're audible.
So basically, unfortunately, I'm not home. I'm outside at the morning of my cousin brother who passed away from COVID. So that's why I couldn't but I think black t-shirt ladder and everything. I couldn't do it. I hope you excuse me this time. So basically, say thank you very much for doing what you did as a Sabizan. It's really a breath of fresh air to see so many young people just kind of walking on the path of liberating animals from their sufferings as much as we can do without actually falling into the savior syndrome hole. So I think it's a really good thing what you guys have been doing, and आजको प्रोग्राम पनि मलाई निकै नै मन पर्यो, मलाई धेरै मन पर्यो तपाईहरुको कविताहरु, तपाईहरुको कथाहरु, अनि भनिनुपर्छ बाहिर पनि मानिसले थाहा पाउनुपर्छ. I hope I can see more of these outreach programs everywhere I go. There's a lot of expectations from the new generation to be an activist. So I really hope to see you more on forefront. So yeah, definitely we will be celebrating जति हामीले कति अगाडि सरेका छौँ भन्ने कुराहरू. त्यसको एउटा चाहिँ मेन आई थिङ्क something that we need to really celebrate. मलाई चाहिँ के लाग्छ भने चाहिँ जुन चाहिँ यो लिगल पोलिसिजहरुमा जुन चाहिँ हाम्रो अगाडि जति पनि हामी इभल्भ भएको छ, अगाडि बढेका छौँ हैन, त्यसमा डेफिनेटली लाइक एनी अदर लिगल इन्टरभेन्सन्स टाइम लाग्छ. त्यसलाई प्र्याक्टिसमा ल्याउनुपर्छ, इम्प्लिमेन्टेसनमा ल्याउनुपर्छ. त्यसको लागि हामीले नै प्र्याक्टिस गर्ने हो, हामीले नै इन्टरभेन्सनमा ल्याउने हो हैन. त्यो चाहिँ हाम्रो रेस्पोन्सिबिलिटिज हो. तर आफ्टर 10 years of really fighting जुन चाहिँ क्रिमिनल कोड पास भएको छ नि, त्यो चाहिँ इट रियली काइन्ड अफ होल्ड्स एज अ भेरी सिग्निफिकेन्ट फाउन्डेसन फर कुनै पनि किसिमको एनिमल क्रुएल्टी, स्पेसली टुवर्ड्स डग्स. त्यसको लागि चाहिँ एकदम ठुलो फाउन्डेसन हो. यसको युज हुनुपर्छ. नट मेनी पिपल आर युजिङ दिस किनभने गाह्रो छ. देयर्स अ लट अफ प्रोसेस इन्भल्भ, लट्स अफ ट्रेनिङ टु बी डन लाइक एनी अदर ल हैन. तर स्टिल यो फाउन्डेसन चाहिँ एकदमै ठुलो हो. सेकेन्ड चाहिँ मैले एकदमै देखेको कुरा चाहिँ के हो भने चाहिँ I feel more and more people are really talking about suffering, animal suffering. More and more people are being very positive towards talking about animal suffering, and they want to know more interventions and more like business opening. For instance, vegan dairy to Arabics vegan होस् अथवा personally मान्छेहरूले start गरेको होस् अथवा पाकले भनिन्छ नयाँ start भएको छ completely vegan productsहरू. यसले गर्दाखेरि चाहिँ यो मार्केट पनि बिस्तारै अब हामीले लिन स्टार्ट गरिसकेका छौँ जस्तो लाग्छ, which is a really good thing. Because when I became vegan, अघि भर्खरै कुरा सुन्दा मैले गनिरहेको थिएँ कति वर्ष भयो भने 9 वर्ष भएछ ठ्याक्कै यो मेमा लास्ट मन्थ 9 वर्ष भएछ vegan भएको. सो त्यो हुँदाखेरि चाहिँ 9 वर्षमा पहिला हुँदाखेरि चाहिँ खासै धेरै थिएन के. आई थिङ्क पिपल हु आर vegan त्यो टाइममा क्यान रिलेट टु मी. अहिले आएर बिकज अफ होल डिमान्ड अफ मोर vegan products भन्ने बित्तिकै त्यो एकदम ठुलो फलको त्यही नै हो क्या. सेकेन्ड रिजन चाहिँ हात्तीको कुरा छ, आई थिङ्क सुराजुन पनि छ यहाँ होइन, सो ही क्यान प्रोबेबली ब्याक मी अप अन दिस। हात्तीको जुन चाहिँ क्याप्टिभ एलिफेन्टमा पनि एकदमै धेरै हामीले थ्रु क्याम्पेनिङ, थ्रु एडभोकेसी, थ्रु लिगल मेजर्स चाहिँ अगाडि आइरहेको छ। विदिन फ्यु इयर्स द होल टुरिज्म इन्डस्ट्री बेस्ड अन सफारी जुन चाहिँ छ, हात्ती सफारीमा बेस भएको टुरिज्म सेक्टर छ, त्यो चाहिँ इट्स गोइङ टु बी निल। यो खासकै मुड पोइन्ट हुन्छ र स्याङ्चुरी मोडलमा चाहिँ अब हामी जान गरिसकेका छौँ। त्यही भएको भएर चाहिँ जुन चाहिँ यो तपाईँको इन्टरनेसनल ट्राभल एजेन्सी स्पेसली युरोपको, त्यसले चाहिँ यो हात्तीको राइड्सहरूलाई चाहिँ उनीहरूको बोयकट गर्यो। जुन चाहिँ यो टुरहरू बेच्छन् नि होइन, नेपालका टुरहरू, नेपालको हलिडे प्याकेजेसहरूमा चाहिँ हात्तीको सफारी, एलिफेन्ट सफारी चाहिँ बेच्न पाउँदैन भने बोयकट गरेपछि चाहिँ स्पेसली युरोपियन्स र अमेरिकन्सहरूमा चाहिँ एकदमै धेरै यसको विषयमा कुरा चलेर चाहिँ उनीहरू सबैले बोयकट गरेपछि चाहिँ फर्चुनेटली के भयो भने चाहिँ यो हात्तीको डिमान्ड पनि सफारीको एकदमै घट्यो कि इन दिस कमिङ इयर्स। र अहिले चाइना र इन्डियामा र डोमेस्टिक धेरै भए पनि डिमान्ड, so different interventions including few videos that were taken out by PETA and other पनि थाहा पाइसकेको अब के भइरहेछ भने हात्तीकोमा चाहिँ I'm really extremely hopeful है। There's a long way to go still. I feel मलाई चाहिँ कस्तो लाग्छ भने as long as there's one animal suffering because of human, we haven't succeeded. त्यो भएर सानो सानो भिक्ट्रिजहरू इम्पोर्टेन्ट छ, तर मलाई पर्सनली सोध्नुहुन्छ भने चाहिँ I feel like त्यो एउटा जनावरले जबसम्म दुःख पाउँछ होइन, irrespective of where or what that animal is being used for, तबसम्म चाहिँ I personally cannot really be happy and be celebrating. त्यही भएर त्यो पहिलादेखि नै मेरो स्ट्यान्ड हो है, until each and every cage is empty भन्ने कुरा जुन चाहिँ छ होइन, I strongly believe. Still, I am hopeful. Still, I see more generations like you, more people like you coming up. I still am hoping more of you will come and forefront and work with us. Then say mainstream activism where you guys are needed, एकदमै needed earlier because there's so few of us working on mainstream activism. I hope more and more education platforms are used by you in schools and colleges. Young generation like you are the torch bearers, are the flag bearers of this movement. So I'm really looking forward to that. So basically, it's basically यही नै हो, Meat Transportation Act जुन चाहिँ पास भयो त्यसले गर्दा पनि धेरै फाउन्डेसन्सहरू बनिरहेको छ, because anything that we are doing cannot be really fulfilled until we really target policy level, legal level मा. So that's very important. त्यो भएको भएर चाहिँ जति पनि मिट क्रिमिनल कोड छ, मिट ट्रान्सपोर्टेसन एक्ट छ, त्यस्तै गरेर यो हात्तीको जुन चाहिँ छ तपाईँको वर्किङ एनिमल गाइडलाइन छ, दिज आर बेसिकली अलिकति वेलफेयरतिर ढल्किन्छ होइन, विच आई डोन्ट बिलिभ इन एनिमल welfare. I believe in complete animal rights personally. Tara, I also understand how cultures evolve, how beliefs evolve, the process. So they were at least welfare ma pani धेरै कुरा भइरहेको भएर I'm still okay with it. अब जसरी जूमा पनि पवन कलेको रिटायरमेन्ट was very personal, मेरो एकदमै पर्सनल उठ्यो यो चाहिँ, because I was absolutely and I'm absolutely in love with Pawan Kali, so I wanted her to retire. So I'm hoping we're trying to get her into a sanctuary, which hopefully will happen in a few years, hopefully soon. So these are the things that we can still celebrate and being together. So I'm just going to end it. You can ask me questions. Definitely I'm here to answer all your queries. त्यो बाहेक चाहिँ मेरो विचारमा चाहिँ I'm just going to end this with a सानो poem. It's not a really long poem. I written this यो animal sacrifice को उसमा चाहिँ मलाई एकदमै, because एनिमल सेक्रिफाइसको जुन चाहिँ कुराहरू छ, स्पेसली गरिमाई, अछामको, जनकपुरको ठाउँ ठाउँको एनिमल सेक्रिफाइसको कुरा त्यो चाहिँ एकदमै गाह्रो छ, किनकि क्रिमिनल कोडले पनि यसलाई एड्रेस गरेको छ। के भनेको छ भने चाहिँ कुनै पनि किसिमको जति पनि यो क्रुअल्टीहरू हुन्छ यसकोमा चाहिँ एकदमै पनिसेबल बाई ल छ, बिसाइड्स पशु बलि भनेको छ कि पशु बलिमा अहिलेसम्म पनि लले के गर्न सकेको छैन। गरिमाईको पनि जुन चाहिँ सुप्रिम कोर्टको त्यो भयो त्यो एकदमै ठुलो थियो, स्टिल छ कि पशु बलिलाई बिस्तारै निरुत्साहित गर्दै जाने भनेर डिस्करेज गर्दै जाने, र जुन चाहिँ यो हाम्रो स्थानीय निकायहरू छ जुन चाहिँ which means from CDO to police, प्रशासन, administration, government, उनीहरूले चाहिँ they can't basically encourage animal sacrifice anymore. They can't call for contracts or tenders, bid for tenders, which is a huge accomplishment, huge accomplishment. त्यो पनि एकदमै राम्रो छ. We are actually moving ahead. There is no turning back. So I'm just going to end this with your sano poem which I had written. I hope you guys will like it. So here we go. मसान घाटको लासमाथि बालुवाको महल बनाउने, नक्सा कोरी सम्पदा र संस्कारको अस्तित्व मिटाउने, भगवान धर्म र परम्परा बेच्ने भेट्ने छौ ठाउँ ठाउँमा, सक्छौ भने त्यस्तालाई चढाऊ मेरो कालीको पाउमा, जसले लाखौं निर्मलाका कलिला सपनालाई खोज्छ, जसले पसिनाको व्यापार गरी खाडीमा पोस्छ, जसले लोभ कपटको लेप लाउँछ तातो घाउमा, सक्छौ भने त्यस्तालाई चढाऊ मेरी कालीको पाउमा, निमुखा निर्दोषको चित्कारमा देवीको खुसी खोज्छौ, माया दया कर्म ज्ञान साटो अहंकारलाई रोज्छौ, बरु महिषासुर शुम्भ निशुम्भ छर्लङ्ग छ जसको हाउभाउमा, सक्छौ भने त्यस्तालाई चढाऊ मेरो कालीको पाउमा. Thank you guys, and I hope to hear more of you soon. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Shrishti, for this amazing poem and your encouraging words and letting us know the progress that's happening in Nepal now. I think we all can learn a lot from you and hope that you will guide us in the future to all of us who wants to work for the animal rights. Moving on, I'd like to now welcome two of our members from Kathmandu Animal Safe, Dipesh and Abhimanyu, who will be delivering a fictional conversational poem between two friends. The mic is yours.
Oh, what a beautiful day to be alive. Let's find something to eat. I'm craving meat.
I would like to eat with you, but we'd have to find somewhere veg. Eating meat will not work on my plate.
Oh, I forgot you were a vegetarian. Listen, I respect your choice lots, but being veg sucks.
Is it the cute faces of animals you have problem with? Is it their innocence thereof, or your sheer lack of love?
Lack of love? I love animals as well, but not at the cost of meat and its sweet, sweet smell. And you are the one to talk about lack of love. Where is your love when you wear silk? Or for the calf killed for your milk?
What about the leather you wear? You wear it so proudly. No tests involved there. Do you even think about the torture they have to endure? And all the fear? You are literally wearing the skin off of an individual, my friend. Where does your compassion begin and where does it end? When they are kept in line? When the knife is sharpened? Or is it when their neck is slit open? Tell me, when will your heart open?
You make me sound like a hypocrite, but I see what you said there. I could definitely live without fur, and definitely without leather.
I was unaware about the calf and the milk. What more can you tell me? I didn't know there was blood involved in dairy.
The eggs you eat is either someone's child as well, or the result of mass exploitation of those beautiful chicken and hen. Honey, you see, are not just sweet nectar, but lifelong work of poor bees. The milk you drink, full of disease, rather blend some almond or soy, add some broccolis and some peas.
You are the one to speak. How do you know all this?
I saw a documentary on vegans and how the factory farming actually is. Cages and bars everywhere, cows standing on faces, pigs whose tails are cut, teeth removed, baby male chicks killed because of wrong gender, blended up alive in grinder. It's in eggs, it's in milk, it's in every glass we drink.
It gave me chills listening to you. What horrible thing they have to go through. I heard foxes are skinned alive for fur, necks broken of minks, and sheep slaughtered. It's not just for food, but for clothes too. Trapped in the prison and cages, cruel circus and zoos too. Beautiful beings kidnapped from their homes, reduced to showpiece, endure depression, anxiety, never to release.
I feel bad what we do to them. Where's our humanity gone? Who's the responsible one? You and me? Even the factory farms, this is injustice. The whole system is cruel.
I don't want to participate in this. I don't want to participate in this.
Thank you so much, Abhimanyu and Dipesh, to bring out this realistic conversation, which I think we can all relate to. We have friends where this conversation usually comes out. Moving on, now to uplift this vibe of the event, I'd like to welcome Eva to sing a song for us. Eva. Thank you so much, Eva, for this heart-touching song. I'm amazed that, but I'm amazed by how talented and compassionate you are from this very young age. Now moving further, I'd like to invite Angela Shrestha, who is going to show her art. But I would like to give her a mic to introduce herself first. Over to you, Angela.
Hello everyone, म चाहिँ अन्जिला श्रेष्ठ and I'm a fashion designer. So मैले चाहिँ आफ्नो illustration through केही message fashion industry को अलिकति दिन कोसिस गरेको छु. So केही मेसेज दिन सक्यो होला भन्ने आशा राख्छु सो या थ्याङ्क यू
I love wearing designer wears, especially leather and fur. You know what? Animals don't have feelings. They are here to sacrifice. Wait, what is this? What if I had to sacrifice my skin, my fur? How do you feel about it? It's my hair. It's my skin. It feels like my opinion does not matter anymore. But I'm not the one who is killed here. Now I realize animals have feelings too.
Thank you so much, Angela, for this wonderful part, which I think we all need to think of, that passion does not need to sacrifice the animals. And since this industry utilizes the animal for a lot of things, from fur to leather to shoes and jackets, I think we need to keep ourselves in their position and know their pain. Up next, we are going to show you a dance, which is done by Kajal, who has worked with us for animal welfare and also for SPCA Nepal.
कुछ दूसरा ना भाई रे जब से नैना ये जाके एक धनुर्धर से लागे तब से बिरहा मोहे सताए रे दुविधा मेरी सब जग जाने जाने न निर्मोहिया घर मोरे परदेसिया
Thank you so much, Kajal, to uplift this event with your dance. Now, I'd like to welcome Suruchi, who is from the audience itself, and who will be telling us a poem on animal liberation. Over to you, Suruchi.
Thank you so much. This letter is for all the human beings who don't understand the feeling of non-human animals. Dear human, sometimes I wonder I want to be like you. Then you act like you want, fighting for what you need under the law of money. And you made my friend bleed, just bleed. You know how many times I said no, how many times I cried alone, how many times I never wanted my tongue to be buried, but you never heard no. Why I could not live? Just because I want everything for free? Just because I don't lie? You know what? Even if you continue the worst crime, I still believe in you that one day you understand me. Tell me, what should I do? Is there anything in my pride? Oof, my hands, my legs, my whole body are boiled in fear. Babu Sahib, I have feelings too. My eyes are filled with tears. Will I give a conclusion? Is this called selfishness? Sometimes I feel like calling you loud and say, hey human, enough is enough. Come, kill me with gods and ask you about your souls and happiness. But I know you won't listen. You will kill me, but still at the night of night, you see stars in the sky with hand in hand. Come on, human. I'm happy with my friends. Don't you dare to watch us? Well, I have nothing to complain or say about, and I got it for sure. But please say me this. Are you happy by killing me? Are you satisfied by ignoring my friend's happiness in the name of human being? Please, human being, say this to me. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Suruchi, for this wonderful poem. I think now we are moving to, poetry is done by Srishti Didi. Now we are going to move to Samzi's video. Like, there is a thing that goes on, like, but how can we survive on a vegan diet? You'll get weak, you're not strong. And to break all these myths revolving around the plant-based diet, we have Samzi, who is a vegan traveler. He's a vegan and travel enthusiast, a solo traveler who has traveled ABC and EBC and hiked over many places on a vegan diet, breaking all the myth. So here is a short video of his journey to Everest Base Camp. Thank you so much, Samzi. I think you will inspire all of us and all the travelers around the world that that will encourage that will put out the word that we do not need animal products in our diet to be strong and to climb the mountains or to travel the journey. Now, next up is the educating part. Since this event is about commemorating, celebrating, and educating, it's also educating about, we are also going to educate the public about the plant-based alternatives. And thus we are going to take vegan businesses in the Nepal. Can you show the slide, Dipesh? So we have the vegan restaurants in Nepal. From vegan bakery and dairy alternatives, personal care and beauty products, makeup, clothing and bags, and the others which we'll find online for different products. You can also contact us for this presentation, or we'd also put it on our page if you wanted. Now, I think we are going to discuss about the progress of animal rights that has that's happened in Nepal as well as worldwide. First, I'd like to explain about Gorimai. Can you put on the presentation? Just a second. So where can we have the slide, please? Thank you. So court decided to ban Gorimai, a festival to stop animal sacrifice in the name of religion. However, in 2015, this festival continued to kill innocent beings even after the ban proceeded by the government. Next is the transport of the buffaloes. The Supreme Court issued an interim order stating that safe and humane and expeditious means should be adopted for the transportation of farmed animals for commercial purposes. Next is the Animal Nepal rescued the dog, which was used as a prop in the political protest here in Nepal. Further, people voiced out against the form of cruelty and made the culprit responsible. Next, we are going to discuss the progress which has been made in the field of law. Animal Transportation Standard 2068 PS, it provided standard for live animals. Animal Welfare Directive 2073 provides fundamentals of animal welfare. It includes absence of hunger, thirst, and malnutrition, no stress, fear, and distress, protection from physical and thermal discomfort, protect from the pain, injury, and disease, freedom to express normal patterns of behavior, valuable guidance in animal welfare. And next is the National Criminal 2074, which states that it prohibits cruelty against animal and criminalizes it. Next is the Department of the Livestock requested the public to reform the laws from the export and import of the animals. On the context of the elephant exploitation, media coverage was done and a petition was started by Srishi Singh Strategy against elephant riding and exploitation, where 3,561 people signed the petition. And also another petition was started by our team, Kathmandu Animal Safe, against elephant trafficking, where 2,828 people signed the petition. Coming up to the next progress that's been made in the Khairi, the dog. Hundreds of people gathered to provide justice for Khairi, was brutally murdered by two men, and a petition was signed where 20,731 people signed, and a legal case was also filed against the culprit. These were the recent progresses which was made in Nepal. However, I think I missed many, but this is for now. And in the context of the worldwide progress, according to the study done worldwide in 2014, the population of vegan was only 0.25%, whereas in 2018, it's 3%. The next study is the study, according to the Britain study, in 2020, the people following vegan diets skyrocketed to 40%. In Israel, it's now recognized as vegan paradise, as there are over 400 vegan and vegetarian restaurants in Israel. Coming to next, in different countries, in Australia, vegan food market reached $215 million by 2020. In Italy, the fastest growing vegetarian population is now 94% throughout 2011 to 2016. In Germany, 1% of the population is vegan. In South America, 90% of the population is actively interested in consuming plant-based vegan foods. In Israel, 5% of the population were actively consuming vegan or vegetarian products. And in China, 1.3 billion people reduced their meat and dairy consumption by 50%. Also, if we see worldwide, the global plant milk market is expected to exceed the $21 billion by $21 billion. Non-dairy milk's consumption rate in US has increased by 61%, whereas the consumption of regular milk has decreased by 22%. And the meat-free options and overall meat vegan food market is expected to reach value of $7.5 million by 2025. Coming to Canada, Canada's new food guideline does not necessarily suggest milk to be incorporated after the repeated research on how milk can be unhealthy for people's diet. So Canada has released a new food guide, you can see in the picture, for 2019, and has drastically overhauled its dietary suggestion for Canadian citizens by consuming dairy, by reducing the dairy from the food group and suggesting people to eat less meat and opt for the plant-based diet. Whereas in the USA, more and more practitioners are voicing about the unhealthy aspect of milk and how the government in the dairy industry is favoring the marketing of the dairy industry and not the human health itself. And also the censorship that was imposed on plant-based products has been lifted in the Europe. And the last is the Seaspiracy, which is a documentary film which highlights the environmental impact and exploitation of animals and humans in the fish industry has gone viral. And having said this, this were just a few steps and a lot is yet to be made. And us standing here for this day is a progress too, in my view. Now, I'd like to call the page to have an open house discussion.
Angela, let us share some. Sorry, Payal, let me share some.
Sorry, yeah, I need to provide some vegan businesses as well. I'm so sorry.
Hi, I'm Angela Strasta. I'm the founder of Angela Creates, and I've been vegan for about 3 years. As I have turned vegan, my perspective towards designing has changed drastically. This is why I have evolved my brand into vegan and cruelty-free. Angela Creates is all about sustainability, focusing on slow fashion, developing accessories using eco-friendly fibers. I have been working towards never-ending designs which can be worn after 10 years as well if you take good care of it. I have been conceptualizing more designs which has Nepalese and spiritual touch to it using vegan and cruelty-free materials. So let's change the world with Angela Creates.
Jujulappa, namaste and hello to everybody from Nirwan. First of all, I'd like to thank Kathmandu Animal Safe for providing us with this opportunity and also inviting us to their NARD virtual event. Talking about Nirwan, Nirwan is an online-based startup which has been running since 30th of September 2018 and has been successful in providing vegan beverages of top qualities such as nut milk, smoothies, immunity booster, and detox water as well, which are not only healthy and cruelty-free but luscious as well. We do not only provide food-like products, but we provide real foods that has been able to touch, change, and help people's life. And I'm really happy with the support and feedbacks that I'm getting. Thank you, Nirwan family and vegan family as well for supporting us. And I'd like to end this note by saying take care, stay safe, and live healthy, everybody. Much love from Nirwan. Bye-bye.
Now it's done. We can move to open house discussion.
Hello, everyone. Well, it's been a long time. Let me just turn on. And oh, it's so nice to see all of you here. साँच्चै भने यो इभेन्ट हामीले प्लान गरेको भनेको हैन लास्ट इयर हामीले ग्लोबल टिमसँग कुरा गरेपछि थियो हैन उहाँहरुको जुन अमाउन्टको यो मेम्बरहरु देखियो नि हैन जुन अमाउन्टको यो एनिमल राइट्स एक्टिभिस्टहरुको पार्टिसिपेसनहरु देखियो त्यो देखेर चाहिँ नेपालमा पनि यस्तो गर्नुपर्छ भनेर हामीले त्यतिबेलादेखि सोचेको अनि फाइनली वी आर डुइङ इट फिजिकली हुन नसके पनि भर्चुअली भए पनि गरिरहेका छौं hopefully next year say हामी physically गर्न पाऊँ so this part is called open discussion हैन open floor so everyone can talk अब यो चाहिँ अलिकति freely सबजनाले आफ्नो पर्सपेक्टिभहरु दिने आफ्नो एक्सपीरियन्सहरु शेयर गर्ने पार्ट हो हैन so I don't know how we should do हामी अहिले okay right now we are 24 people and of course like सबजनाले अलिअलि केही भन्यो भने पनि it will be a long time but I think it will be a great way to know each other listen each other's story you know so what we shall do is यस्तो गरौँ कि let's say आफ्नो अलिकति पर्सपेक्टिभ आफ्नो नाम भनौं आफू कहाँबाट हो र अलिकति आफ्नो vegan journey को बारेमा भनौं and then let's pass the mic to someone else For example, I will say my perspective, my vegan journey, and then I will say someone else's name, and that person will say another person's name, and त्यस्तो गर्दै बिस्तारै सबजनाको vegan journey को बारेमा सुनौँ न त है. So, hi everyone, my name is Deepesh Shrestha. म vegan भएको अहिले I think 6 years भयो, because I'm not so sure. म vegan भएको भनेको चाहिँ it was initially for the environment reason. Knowing how our planet is dying really scared me. Like once I kept on digging in, I started finding out the animal exploitation part and how cruel the industry is. And that's where I started to be active for the animals, doing outreaches, talking with people, and that's how I that's all my vegan journey नै भनौँ न. So I'll let another person speak. So next person I'd like to choose is Bhima Thapa. Bhima, are you there? Okay, if Bhima is not present, then I'll pass it to someone else. Samita Basnet. And I just now remember. So हाम्रो यहाँ वरिपरि यो जुन memberहरु join हुनुपर्छ. So some of them might not even be vegan or vegetarian, but they are animal lovers. So you can tell your connection with animals as well. Okay, Samita is not also online, I think. So let's go with someone I know. Sanjana, please go ahead.
Thank you so much, Dipesh Sai. So talking about myself, I was a huge non-vegetarian. I hardcore non-vegetarian, but then I came to a point of rescuing animals. So I started from my own cat, and later on, I knew the fact that there is no difference between a cat and a goat or a chicken. So I must say I changed to vegan overnight, watching some documentaries on YouTube and Netflix. अनि अहिले चाहिँ म vegan भएको exactly भन्नुपर्दा 1 year भयो. अनि वैशाखमा म vegan switch भएको थिएँ last year. I was trying from फागुन, तर I was trying for to be vegetarian. अनि सुराजन श्रेष्ठ दाइको इन्फ्लुएन्सले म vegan भएको थिएँ. So after that, I हुन्छ नि मैले एकदमै आफ्नो बडीमा चेन्जेसहरु पनि पाएँ. I have become more of a calm person, अनि I'm loving animals, अनि being अलिकति careful for their life, अनि for environment, अनि for like everything that goes around me. जुन environment मा म बसिरहेको छु, जुन system चलिरहेको छ, त्यसमा I am trying to contribute केही न केही दिनदिनै. So अहिले random भयो, so I was not well prepared. Thank you so much, because this was all raw. I would like to pass to my mentor, Surajan Dai, if he is here. Okay, he is here. So yeah, Surajan Dai.
Thank you, Sanjana. And thank you, Kathmandu Animals Save यो सबै इभेन्टको लागि. I think it was a wonderful event. अनि कतिजना मान्छेहरु चाहिँ आउनुभयो हैन, हामी जस्तो युजहरु, अनि त्यसपछि आफ्नो स्टोरी टेलिङ, आफ्नो एबिलिटिजहरु देखाएर जानुभयो एनिमल्स राइट्स अथवा भनौँ न एनिमल प्रोटेक्सनको लागि हैन, सबै आफ्नो ठाउँबाट गर्नुभएको छ. मेरो भिगन जर्नी भन्दाखेरि ठ्याक्कै म चाहिँ 2012 मा चाहिँ मैले एनिमल राइट्स क्लब भन्ने अर्गनाइजेसन सुरु गरेको हाई स्कुलमा हुँदाखेरि. त्यतिखेर चाहिँ हुन त म भेजिटेरियन पहिलेदेखि नै थिएँ हैन. लाइक दसैँमा काठमाडौँ गरेको चाहिँ फिटिकै मन पर्थेन. अनि त्यसपछि त्यो कारणले गर्दा चाहिँ म भेजिटेरियन भएको थिएँ. अनि पछि चाहिँ अब 2012 तिर चाहिँ हाई स्कुल हुँदाखेरि त्यहाँको हाम्रो प्रिन्सिपलहरु पनि कृष्ण प्रणामी सरहरु हैन, अनि लाइक हाम्रो जुन मोटिभ थियो त्यो चाहिँ बुझ्नु भएको. अनि हामीसँग मेरो कम्पनीमा चाहिँ भनौँ न साथीहरु पनि सबै लाइक 2-4 जना भेजिटेरियनहरु पनि थियो. अनि त्यसपछि यो कजलाई बुझ्ने खालको पनि थियो हैन. त्यसपछि हामीले चाहिँ त्यहीँबाट नै साथीहरू मिलेर चाहिँ त्यहाँ अर्गनाइजेसन सानो ग्रुप फर्म गरेर चाहिँ सुरु गरेको। पछि हामी स्कुलमा गएर पनि प्रोग्रामहरू गर्न थाल्यो अवेरनेसको लागि होइन। अनि त्यही हो, अब जस काम गर्दै जाँदा चाहिँ हामीले अब एनिमल त्यतिखेर चाहिँ एनिमल राइट्स क्लब भनेर खोल्यो। अनि त्यसपछि किन अब सेक्रिफाइसको मात्रै काम गर्ने भनेर चाहिँ हामीले त्यतिखेर चाहिँ अब गरिमाको कुराहरू पनि एकदमै आइरहेको थियो 2012 मा होइन। 2014 को लागि नै एकदमै हाइप भइरहेको थियो त्यतिखेरदेखि नै। अनि हामी त्यसको लागि पनि प्रोग्रामहरू धेरै गऱ्यौँ। अनि हामी काम गर्दै जाँदा एलिफेन्ट यो क्याप्टिभ एलिफेन्टहरूको वेलफेयरको लागि पनि, त्यसपछि वाइल्ड लाइफ कन्जर्भेसन सेक्टरमा, इन्भाइरोमेन्ट कन्जर्भेसन सेक्टरमा, जस भनौँ न हामीले चाहिँ एनिमललाई जुन जुन लाइनमा चाहिँ एनिमल्स बसिरहेको हुन्छ हामी त्यो सबै एरियाहरू चाहिँ हामीले कभर गर्न सुरु गऱ्यौँ। अनि त्यसो भनौँ न नेसनल पार्कको छेउमै हुँदाखेरि चाहिँ धेरै सजिलो हुन्छ यता चितवनमा। अनि त्यही जस अनि भिगन भएको चाहिँ म एराउन्ड मेरो यो फिल्डमा लागिसकेपछि 2-3 वर्षपछि हो, एराउन्ड 2015 तिर सायद भिगन भएको। अनि त्यतिखेरदेखि नै अनि भनौँ न अरू प्रोग्रामहरू पनि गएर भिगनिजम सम्बन्धी प्रमोसनहरू गर्ने, अवेरनेस एक्टिभिटिजहरू गर्दै गयो। त्यतिखेर चाहिँ एकदमै आफूलाई कस्तो लाग्थेन, कोही पनि भिगन चिनेको पनि थिएन, भए पनि अब अलिकति सिनियरहरू मात्रै थियो, 2-4 जना मात्रै थियो। तर लाइक 4-5 वर्षको डिफ्रेन्समै नेपालमा चाहिँ यति धेरैजना प्लान्ट बेस्डमा चेन्ज हुनुभयो, भिगनको एउटा फिलोसोफी बोकेर हिँड्नुभएको छ। कस्तो इम्प्रुभमेन्ट चाहिँ एकदमै खतरा भइरहेको छ कि मलाई चाहिँ एकदम इन्ट्रेस्टिङ लागिरहेको छ। अनि त्यसपछि आफू कति रेस्क्यु केसहरूमा नि हिँडिरहेको हुन्छ, त्यतिखेर चाहिँ एक्लै हिँड्नुपर्ने थियो होइन। 1-2वटा अर्गनाइजेसनहरू थियो छेउछाउमै। तर अहिले चाहिँ आफ्नो एब्सेन्स हुँदाखेरि कहिलेकाहीँ पनि लाइक अरू युथहरू पनि हेल्पिङ ह्यान्डहरू पनि कति छ कि भनेपछि यो एउटा एनिमल प्रोटेक्सनको अनि भिगनिजम सम्बन्धीको यो फिलोसफी चाहिँ एकदम हाइली प्रमोटेड भइरहेछ। अनि युथहरूमा चाहिँ ओभरनाइटै एकदमै हाइप भइरहेछ, वर्ल्ड नेपालमा मात्रै नभएन कि वर्ल्डभरि नै यो हाइप भइरहेछ। सो इट्स भेरी गुड। अनि आज जति पनि आउनु भएको छ, यो हामी सबै एउटा भिगनिजमको पाथमा हिँडिसकेको एउटा फिलोसफीलाई चाहिँ इन्ट्रेस्ट भएर नै हामी यहाँ सबैजना छौँ होइन। सो यो फिल्डमा हाइली वेलकम फेरि पनि सबैलाई आफ्नो ठाउँबाट गर्दै गर्नुहोस्, हामी पनि आफ्नो ठाउँबाट गर्दै गरेछौँ। अनि कुनै दिन हामी सायद सेलिब्रेसन चाहिँ एकदमै देखिने खालको हुन्छ नि, लाइक भयो अब यो एनिमल फ्री भयो भन्ने पनि दिन देख्न पाओस् हामीले। सो दिज आर माई 2 वर्ड्स। थ्याङ्क यू। भयो मैले भने हजुर
pass it to somebody else. Okay.
Okay, so I would like to nominate Eva.
So hello everyone, मेरो नाम चाहिँ इभा डोंगुल अनि म चाहिँ पहिल्यै सानो बेलादेखि नै एनिमल लभर थिएँ भनौँ। अनि सो म चाहिँ अनि आई डिडन्ट नो त्यो हाम्रो कन्ज्युमेसनको लागि चाहिँ एनिमल्सहरूलाई मार्छ भनेर। सो आफ्टर आई फाउन्ड आउट आई टर्न्ड इन्टु भेजिटेरियन फर्स्ट। अनि त्यसको 1 year पछि चाहिँ आई स्टिल डिडन्ट नो अबाउट वाट इज भिगनिजम अर भिगन। And त्यति बेला चाहिँ I met Dipesh Dai and he inspired me and he told me about veganism and I turned vegan. So it's been about 3 years that I've been vegan and yeah, that's it. And I would like to nominate Angela Didi.
Hello, thank you Eva and thank you Kathmandu Animal Save. I know. म चाहिँ भिगन भएको अब 3 years हुन लाग्यो। अनि मैले चाहिँ भिगनिजम भनेर चाहिँ पहिलेकै थाहा थियो टर्म चाहिँ लाइक बच्चैदेखि नै लाइक स्कुल बेलादेखि नै बिकज आई युज टु फलो सेलिब्रिटिज कति भिगन भइरहेको भनेर। हुँदै जाँदाखेरि आफू चाहिँ भिगन बन्नुपर्छ भनेर चाहिँ मैले कसैबाट इन्फ्लुएन्स भएर होइन कि लाइक मेरो कारणले एनिमल सफरिङ चाहिँ नहोस् भनेर चाहिँ मैले त्यो स्टेप लाइक एकै दिनबाटै टर्न भएको टाइप हो कि खासमा म चाहिँ। सो म चाहिँ फेसन डिजाइनिङ गर्दै थिएँ त्यति बेला, अहिले पनि गरिरहेको छु। सो त्यति बेला स्टिल मेरो डिजाइनिङको पर्सपेक्टिभ हुन्छ नि लाइक हामीले टेक्सटाइलहरू पढ्दाखेरि लेदरहरू युज हुने, सिल्कहरू युज हुने, वुलहरू यस्तोहरू पढिराख्दाखेरि मलाई चाहिँ मेरो पनि हात छ यसमा जस्तो लाग्यो कि सो आई सुड चेन्ज इट। फ्युचरमा गएर पनि मैले केही अरू फिल्डमा नभए पनि आफ्नै फिल्डमा मैले भिगनिजमलाई प्रमोट गर्न सकोस् अनि कसलाई इन्फ्लुएन्स गर्न सकोस् भन्ने चाहिँ इच्छा छ सो आई लाइक टु नोमिनेट पायल दी
Thank you, Angela. So more vegan भएको धेरै भएको छैन. It's been over 1 year. 1 year some month भयो होला. अनि I was an के भन्छ overnight vegan as well. मलाई चाहिँ त्यतिखेर I think I watched Earthlings अनि 1 hour video of Kariowski and I couldn't like हुन्छ नि I couldn't contribute anymore. मैले त्यतिखेर के पनि रिसर्चहरू गरेको थिइनँ like can I sustain हुन्छ नि on a plant based diet in Nepal can I यताउति भनेर त्यो चाहिँ पछिको पार्ट थियो तर मलाई त्यही थाहा थियो कि I don't know how यस्तो strongly मैले कनेक्ट गर्न सकेँ त्यो डकुमेन्ट्रीसँग and then that's it like मैले त्यसपछि चाहिँ I started learning about Buddhism more like के छ भने I was amazed कि नेपालमा पनि यति धेरै अप्सन्सहरू छ भनेर थाहा थिएन मलाई यति धेरै पिपलहरू छन् भनेर अनि started like सबैसँग अलिअलि कन्ट्याक्ट गर्नलाई अनि यताउति and then I met Dipesh and Sova. They are my first vegan friends अनि त्यसपछि I'm a member of Kathmandu Animal Save now अनि त्यही हो that's all I want to say right now and सबैको जर्नी डिफ्रेन्ट हुन्छ भने चाहिँ I believe होइन सबैजना ओभरनाइट भिगन हुनुपर्छ भन्ने छैन जस्ट सबैजनाले चाहिँ आफू चाहिँ we have to take responsibility of our actions भन्ने कुरा चाहिँ I think we need to do that and also like veganism has opened so much doors for me so many doors for me to like think about sustainability environment and everything so I have become more conscious once more after being vegan I like to nominate Ayush Shrestha to talk about himself.
Thank you very much, Payal, for nominating me. Hello, brothers and sisters. म चाहिँ आयुष श्रेष्ठ है म चाहिँ बच्चैदेखि भेजिटेरियन हो अनि लाइक बच्चामा चाहिँ के चाहिँ रिजन थियो भन्नाले एउटा दसैँको बेलामा चाहिँ हाम्रो फ्यामिलीले उता एउटा त्यो त्यस्तै त्यो के भन्ने एउटा टेन्ट जस्तो ठाउँमा जहाँ चाहिँ त्यो गोड्सहरूलाई सेक्रिफाइस गर्छ क्या त्यो हुन्छ नि गड गडेसेसको नाममा त्यहाँ लगेको थियो अनि लाइक मैले लिटरली एउटा हिप माउन्टेनको हिपको हुन्छ नि एउटा स्मल खालको हिप लाइक इमेजिन माउन्टेन जस्तै के होइन गोडको हेडहरू मात्रै क्या हुन्छ नि लाइक गोड्सलाई चाहिँ ओपनली स्लटर गरेर आएको थियो कि लाइक सेक्रिफाइस टर्न बाई टर्न एउटा गोड ल्यायो अर्को गोड ल्यायो त्यहाँ अनि काटेर त्यसको एउटा माउन्टेन जस्तो के टाउको बनाएँ अनि त्यो देखेर चाहिँ मलाई स्कार नै भयो क्या लाइफमा है अनि त्यसपछि त्यहाँदेखि म भेजिटेरियन नै भएको बच्चैदेखि लाइक अनि त्यसपछि +2 सकाएपछि चाहिँ लाइक यत्तिकै बसिरहेको थिएँ एन्ड देन लाइक एनिमल्सहरूलाई हेल्प गर्नु चाहिँ एकदमै इच्छा लाग्थ्यो क्या पहिल्यैदेखि अनि यस्तै काउहरूको लाइक फिडिङहरू गरेर हुन्थ्यो क्या काउहरू स्ट्रे काउजहरूलाई त्यति बेला चाहिँ भिगन थिएन म अनि स्ट्रे काउजहरूलाई कति हेल्प गरेर हुन्छु मैले गरिरहेको थिएँ त्यति बेला अनि रियलाइज भयो कि लाइक हुन्छ नि ल जति हेल्प गरोस् होइन लाइक जबसम्म मैले चाहिँ मिल्क खाइरहेको छु लाइक दे आर द रिजन्स बाई दिस मेल काउस आर अन द एन्डिङ अफ इन द स्ट्रिट होइन सो लाइक until and unless I'm not vegan, then it makes no sense for me to work towards helping them, because ultimately I am the reason why their milk is stolen from their mothers. So the realization was so around 2017 तिर म vegan भएको, so 4 years जति भयो. And then like vegan बनेपछि मात्र पुगेन, like activism पनि गर्नै पर्यो भनेर त्यही कारणले like every week गरेर हुन्छु मैले चाहिँ के भन्नु अब पहिला अनोनमस अफ द भोइसलेसबाट गरिरहेको थिएँ अहिले आफ्नै गरेर आयो हाम्रो सानो ग्रुप छ हामीसँग अनि लाइक एभ्री विक गरेर हुन्छ लाइक आउटरिच गरेर हुन्छ हामीले चाहिँ घरि बसन्तपुर पाटनतिर लाइक मोस्टली नन भिगन्सहरूलाई कुरा गर्छौँ कि हामीहरू चाहिँ लाइक वी हेभ टु मेन फोकस चाहिँ उनीहरूलाई अकाउन्टेबल होल्ड देम अकाउन्टेबल फर देयर एक्सन्स के बिकज इट्स लाइक यो गिल्टी छ भनेर मान्छेहरूलाई थाहा पनि हुँदैन क्या किनभने इट्स सो के भन्ने इट्स सो नर्मलाइज के भाइलेन्स होइन सो अन्टिल त्यो भित्र सिड प्लान्ट गर्न चाहिँ हाम्रो मेन त्यो के भन्ने अब अब्जेक्टिभ हुन्छ क्या लाइक एभ्री विक त्यस्तै गरेर हुन्छ सकेसम्म बडी नन भिगन्सहरूसँग कुरा गर्छौँ अनि वान्स अर ट्वाइस मेबी भिगन्स भेट्छ होइन खुसी पनि लाग्छ कि लाइक हुन्छ नि कन्द भिगन्सहरू पनि भेट्दो रहेछ वा भनेर सो त्यही अचम्म लाग्छ सो या अनि त्यही हुन्छ म लाइक त्यति हो सो ग्रेट टु मिट अल यु ब्रदर्स एन्ड सिस्टर्स है या सो अब नेक्स्ट कोलाई गर्नु मैले काजल छ काजल गुरुङ नेक्स्ट काजल गुरुङलाई I'll nominate her.
Hello.
Yes, we can
Good
hear you.
evening. सबैलाई गुड इभिनिङ म काजल गुरुङ हो म चाहिँ अहिले भिगन चाहिँ भएको छैन के अरे भेजिटेरियन भएको चाहिँ फ्यु इयर्स भयो होइन एनिमल्स चाहिँ अब मनपर्ने त पहिलेबाट हो होइन तर जब म चाहिँ काठमाडौँ सिफ्ट भएँ अनि एनिमल अर्गनाइजेसनहरूसँग काम गर्न थालेँ होइन आई थिङ्क द्याट वाज माई टर्निङ पोइन्ट के हुन्छ नि अब बच्चाबाट थाहा थियो होइन अब अभियसली मिट कन्ज्युम गर्नको लागि मार्नु नै पर्छ भनेर तर त्यो किक चाहिँ मैले चाहिँ जब म प्र्याक्टिकली फिल्डमा आएँ नि त्यति बेला चाहिँ रियलाइज भयो कि यो त कस्तो अब हुन्छ नि एक्टिभिजम पनि मानि लागिरहेछ अनि अल्सो लाइक हुन्छ नि उनीहरूलाई इन्डाइरेक्टली पनि दुःख दिइरहेछ अब मेरो मिल्सहरू मेरो लाइफस्टाइलहरूले गर्दा उनीहरूलाई हार्म भइरहेछ भने यो त एकदमै हुन्छ नि कस्तो आफ्नै एक्टिभिटिजहरू लाइक उस भएको जस्तो भयो फिल भयो होइन अनि त्यसरी चाहिँ आई स्टार्टेड के अरे भेजिटेरियन हुनको लागि अनि अझै पनि म भिगन हुनको लागि ट्राई गर्दैछु अब ओभरनाइट चाहिँ अलिक हुन सकेन होइन मेरो केसमा चाहिँ अनि आई थिङ्क यो सबै चाहिँ यो फिलिङ चाहिँ कहिले आउँछ भन्दा चाहिँ एम्पथाइज गर्नु चाहिँ इट्स भेरी इम्पोर्टेन्ट रहेछ क्या अब हुन्छ नि यो सबै हाम्रो अब आइएम सोसियल वर्क स्टुडेन्ट होइन सो त्यो कुराबाट चाहिँ लिङ्क गर्दाखेरि चाहिँ होइन यी सबै जेन्डरको इस्युजहरू हुन्छ अब वुमेनहरूले रेप हुन्छ अर के अरे हाम्रो एनिमल इस्युजहरू नै लिए हुन्छ यो सबै भएको चाहिँ अब जबसम्म मान्छेहरूले चाहिँ एम्पथाइज गर्न सक्दैन नि के हुन्छ नि उसको ठाउँमा म भएको भए कस्तो हुन्थ्यो होला त्यस्तो गर्न सक्दैन नि आई थिङ्क त्यति बेला चाहिँ ठुलो एकदमै ह्युज चेन्ज आउँदो रहेछ कि अनि आई थिङ्क मान्छेहरूलाई चाहिँ यो रियलाइज गर्नुपर्छ कि अब एउटा ह्युमन्सहरू भएपछि यो ह्युमेनिटीको फिलिङ अनि एम्पथाइज गर्नुपर्ने इट्स सो इम्पोर्टेन्ट भनेर होइन सो मैले चाहिँ अब मेरो पार्टबाट चाहिँ सोसियल वर्कको स्टुडेन्ट भएर चाहिँ मैले चाहिँ यो अब यो मेसेज चाहिँ अब स्प्रेड गर्न ट्राई गर्दैछु होइन अनि अभियसली हाम्रो फिल्ड हाम्रो एक्टिभिजमको फिल्डमा चाहिँ धेरै ब्याकग्राउन्डबाट हुनुहुन्छ लबाट हुनुहुन्छ इन्जिनियरिङ अर सबै डिफ्रेन्ट उसबाट हुनुहुन्छ नि त अब सबैले चाहिँ आफ्नो पार्टबाट गर्दा चाहिँ टाइम लाग्ला तर चाहिँ धेरै चेन्जेसहरू आउँछ भनेर चाहिँ धेरै आशा छ अनि खुसी लाग्छ अनि थ्याङ्क यू फर द इभेन्ट आई वुड लाइक टु नोमिनेट यास्मिन श्रेष्ठ
Hello everyone, my name is Yasmin Shrestha अनि म चाहिँ काजललाई चाहिँ मैले कलेजमा भेटेको अनि इट्स लाइक अब पहिल्यैदेखि अफकोर्स यो हुन्छ नि एनिमल मनपर्ने त सानैदेखि भन्ने होइन बट त्यही मैले मेरो त्यो के भन्छ फुड कन्ज्युम गर्नेमा चाहिँ त्यसो पहिला सोचेको थिइनँ होइन बट इट्स लाइक 2 years ब्याक होला त्यही गरिमैको हुन्छ नि यसको मार्चमा त्यतिकै कलेजबाट काजल अब जाँदै थियो होइन मार्चमा एन्ड सी टोल्ड इट्स लाइक यु वान्ट कम अनि म त्यतिकै गएको थिएँ त्यहाँनिर अनि त्यहाँनिर चाहिँ हुन्छ नि त्यहाँ गएर सबैजना देखेर त्यहाँको त्यो भाइब त्यो हुन्छ नि एटमोस्फियरले चाहिँ मलाई हुन्छ नि इन अ वे मोटिभेट नै गरे लाइक आई वान्ट टु डु समथिङ कन्ट्रिब्युट समथिङ टु इट अनि अर्को चाहिँ कस्तो गिल्टी फिल भइरहेको थियो क्या आई वाज लिटरली होल्डिङ अब लाइक त्यो पोस्टर्सहरू त्यहाँनिर स्प्रेड गर्नुपर्ने तर म हुन्छ नि अलिक हिपोक्रेट भएर बसिरहेको थिएँ बिकज म अझै कन्ज्युम गरिरहेको थिएँ सो मैले चाहिँ देन एन्ड देयर त्यतिखेर चाहिँ अब चाहिँ लाइक भेजिटेरियन चाहिँ हुन्छु भने होइन अनि त्यही म भिगनिजमको चाहिँ त्यो स्टार्ट गरेको छैन बट लाइक भेज भएको चाहिँ 2 years भएको छ अनि त्यही इट्स लाइक वी हेभ बिन ट्राइङ आई थिङ्क अब अहिले हाम्रो सोसियल डिपार्टमेन्टमा पनि हामी अवेरनेसहरू धेरै स्प्रेड गरिरहेको छ बट इट्स लाइक होइन त्यति नै होला थ्याङ्क यू एन्ड आई डोन्ट नो हुम टु नो लाइक कल आउट म चिन्दिनँ थ्याङ्क यू
You can call out anyone whose name hasn't been said.
मेरो अघि बिचमा डिस्कनेक्ट भएको थियो होइन सो लाइक आई हेभ नो आइडिया लाइक हु स्पोक कोले बोलिसक्यो भनेर क्या
Sam Lonu.
I was trying to say the same, Deepesh.
Telepathy.
म चाहिँ स्याम होइन म चाहिँ प्लान बेस गएको 2019 देखि मलाई चाहिँ म चेन्ज भएको कारण चाहिँ ममा जुन लाइक मेरो जुन चाहिँ फिलोसफीहरू थियो होइन जुन चाहिँ मैले बिलिभ थियो होइन त्यो चाहिँ कन्फ्लिक्ट हुन थाल्यो त्यही भएर म चाहिँ चेन्ज 2019मा चेन्ज भएँ होइन अनि त्यही भएर म चाहिँ सिक्दैछु लाइक होइन काठमाडौँ एनिमल सेभ टिमबाट सिक्दैछु होइन दिपेश वा सुराजनहरूबाट होइन त्यही भएर थ्याङ्क्स
Can you nominate someone?
I'd like to nominate Salinder Dongul होइन who's my mentor, role model अनि पछि good friend होइन अनि उसले गर्दा पनि लाइक हुन्छ नि म चाहिँ लाइक कति कुरा सिकिरहेको हुन्छ कि अनि यो लाइक केएसटीमा पनि अप्लाई गरिरहेको हुन्छु होइन सिकिरहेको हुन्छु सो सलिन्द्र डङ्गोल
थ्याङ्क यू स्याम थ्याङ्क यू यहाँ चाहिँ म कस्तो मलाई त्यो स्यामले नै इन्भाइट गरे हो खास आज एन्ड इभन दिपेश वाज अस्ति दिपेशसँग हाम्रो क्लब हाउसमा पनि कुरा भइरहेको थियो अल्दो आई एम नट अ भिगन बट आई एम बिग सपोर्टर अफ प्लान्ट बेस्ड डायट होइन त्यो कुराहरूमा चाहिँ एन्ड आई वाज अल्सो टकिङ अबाउट यो बट वेन आइ एम विथ लाइक हुन्छ नि त्यो कमन फ्रेन्ड आई ट्राई नट टु कन्ज्युम त्यो प्लान्ट बेस्ड डायट भन्दा अरू कुराहरू चाहिँ आई ट्राई नट टु कन्ज्युम आफ्नो बिहेभियरको लागि आफ्नै हेल्थको लागि पनि मात्र नभनिकन आई अल्सो सी आई अडोर एनिमल्स एज सच लाइक त्यो आई हेभ पेट्स होइन पेट्सहरू हुँदाखेरि अनि त्यो चाहिँ प्र्याक्टिस गरे पनि छु होइन कति कुराहरू प्र्याक्टिस गरे पनि छु अनि कतै कतै चाहिँ खो आएर त्यो के हुन्छ त्यो तर आई एम ट्राइङ मेरो चाहिँ एस्पायरिङ भिगन भन्छु मलाई आफूलाई चाहिँ बट आई सी स्याम अनि दिपेश अनि स्यामको बर्थडेमा पनि हामीले जुन चाहिँ किसिमको त्यो भिगनको कुराहरू त्यो गरेको थियो त्यो भएको थियो आइ एम रियली अमेज द नम्बर इज ग्रोइङ वर्ल्ड वाइड ग्लोबली एन्ड अल्सो इन काठमाडौँ एन्ड चेन्ज इज पोसिबल भन्ने कुराहरू चाहिँ त्यो स्टार्ट फ्रम वेयर यु स्ट्यान्ड भन्ने कुराहरू चाहिँ एकदम मलाई इन्ट्रेस्टिङ लाग्छ त्यो मलाई आई बिलिभ द्याट टु अनि त्यही कुरा चाहिँ स्यामले जुन चाहिँ प्रुभ गरेको छ अनि इभन पिपल क्वेसन एन्ड पिपल गेट अम्युजडै हुन्छ बिकज लाइक यु आर अ भिगन भन्ने खालको जस्तो त्यो अम्युजमेन्टले नै मान्छेहरू ले जब क्वेसन गर्छ अनि त्यो गर्दाखेरि समहाउ आई फिल लाइक हुन्छ नि चेन्ज अब त्यो मान्छेले पनि थाहा पायो नि त इभन दो हि वान्ट चेन्ज लाइक त्यो आजको भोलि ऊ भिगन नहोला तर उसलाई चाहिँ त्यो मान्छेलाई अब उसँग म जहिले पनि हामी वेन एभर वी गो अराउन्ड वी go to like we eat vegan भनौँ न eat vegan go to a vegan restaurant or something like that त्यो नि जब चाहिँ त्यो मान्छेलाई अब त्यो अघि हाम्रो साथीले आई टक टु सो मेनी पिपल एन्ड लाइक क्याम्पेनको कुराहरू गरिराख्दाखेरि चाहिँ द्याट्स अल्सो सम पार्ट अफ क्याम्पेनिङ जस्तो लाग्छ यु टक अबाउट भिगनिजम अनि दे आर लाइक सरप्राइज दे डोन्ट नो द्याट दोज थिङ्स अल्सो एक्जिस्ट भन्ने कुराहरू क्या होइन त्यो गर्दाखेरि चाहिँ द्याट्स रियली अमेजिङ एन्ड great things like Kathmandu Animal Save is doing, and I enjoyed. Although I joined late, but I enjoyed the part that I could actually see. This Matthew, the poem Kukura, I missed it, which Sam also mentioned about it. But I got to know about vegan restaurants, and which is also growing. Kathmandu which is growing and which is an interesting thing, and the global studies are पनि देखिरहेको थिए जसमा चाहिँ भिगनको डेटा अथवा भिगनको नम्बर होइन त्यो चाहिँ बढ्नेवाला छ भन्ने कुराहरू बट आई एम रियली अम्युज र सरप्राइज अनि अल्सो त्यो गर्दाखेरि चाहिँ अब त्यो अघि डकुमेन्ट्रिजहरूको पनि कुरा गरिरहेको थियो अनि डकुमेन्ट्रिजहरूको कुराहरू गर्दाखेरि इभन नेपालमा पनि त्यो त्यो मुभमेन्ट चाहिँ अलिकति हामीले चाहिँ पोलिसी लेभलबाट ल्याउनु पर्छ भन्ने कुराहरू चाहिँ कारण चाहिँ जस्तै गभर्मेन्ट आफैले चाहिँ त्यो कुखुराको मासु खानुहोस् अथवा दुधले पोषण दिन्छ भन्ने कुराहरूलाई चाहिँ त्यो फ्रुट त्यो नन एनिमल डायटलाई चाहिँ त्यति प्रमोट गरेर हुन्न कि उनीहरूले चाहिँ त्यो एनिमल बेस्ड डायटलाई प्रमोट गरेर मासुको पिक्चर होइन अनि त्यो अन्डा दुधको पिक्चर राखेर चाहिँ के अरे स्वस्थ रहनको लागि यी खानेकुराहरू खानुहोस् भनेर चाहिँ प्रमोट गरिरहेको हुन्छ त्यस कारणले समबडी लाइक हाम्रो यो त्यो जुन चाहिँ काठमाडौँ एनिमल सेभले चाहिँ अब त्यो पेटिसनहरू त्यस्तो मजाले पेटिसनहरू साइन गर्नु भएको छ त्यो होइन जुन चाहिँ त्यो प्रोटेस्टहरू गर्नु भएको छ अनि इभन लाइक पुलिसमा जुन चाहिँ त्यो तपाईँहरूले उजुरी हाल्नु भएको छ त्यो कुराहरू चाहिँ इट्स अमेजिङ ग्रेट अनि दे आर लाइक सपोर्टर्स हु क्यान एक्चुली सपोर्ट अनि त्यो कुरा गर्दाखेरि पोलिसी लेभलमा पनि एटलिस्ट डोन्ट एडभर्टाइज त्यो अलिकति द्याट इज नट ट्रु इभन क्यानाडाले चाहिँ त्यो दुध चाहिँ इट्स नट पार्ट अफ डायट, इट्स नट इम्पोर्टेन्ट भन्ने कुराहरू चाहिँ अझ हाम्रोमा त दुधमै तपाईँको के केमिकल राखेर आउँछ भनेर डेरीको त्यत्रो आइरहेको छ त होइन, न्युजमा आइरहेको हुन्छ त। एन्ड पिपल इभन से लाइक दुध खानुपर्छ, दुधले बलियो गर्छ भन्ने कुराहरू चाहिँ आई डोन्ट थिङ्क, म घरमा कुरा गरेर हुन्छ कि घरमा पनि त्यो डिस्कसनमा चाहिँ हाम्रो फ्यामिली त्यो डिनर टेबलमा चाहिँ खास दुध ठिक होइन नि तपाईँलाई थाहा छ भनेर भनिरहेको हुन्छ क्या। अनि होइन दुध खानुपर्छ किन भन्छ त अनि भन्दाखेरि सरकारले भनेको छ अथवा हामीले देख्छौँ, देखेरै हो नि त। त्यस कारणले चाहिँ त्यो एउटा पनि क्याम्पेनिङ चाहिँ गर्नुपर्छ जस्तो लाग्छ क्या। त्यो अब त्यो सरकारले एडभर्टाइज गर्नुको पछाडि केही न केही त छ नि त, त्यहाँ दुग्ध विकास संस्थान छ, त्योभन्दा पनि बाहेकको यति धेरै डेरी इन्डस्ट्रिजहरू खुलेको छ होइन। त्यसले गर्दाखेरि पनि समहाउ त्यो डिमान्ड पनि बढ्दैछ बिकज देयर इज एडभर्टिजमेन्ट। अनि मान्छेलाई चाहिँ स्वस्थ रहनको लागि चाहिँ दुध खानुपर्छ भन्ने एउटा हुन्छ नि, त्यो एनिमल बेस्ड डायट खानुपर्छ भन्ने कुराहरू चाहिँ हुनाले त्यो एडभर्टिजमेन्टलाई मात्रै कन्ट्रोल गर्न सके पनि मान्छेले जे देख्छ त्यही नै गर्छ अनि उसको बिहेभियरमा त्यसै आउँछ। जता पनि ततै पनि त्यही नै इमेज देख्दाखेरि त्यो पनि बिहेभियरल चेन्ज आउँछ जस्तो लाग्छ। एन्ड लाइक आज तपाईँहरूको त्यो एनिमल राइट्स डे पनि रहेकोले ह्याप्पी एनिमल राइट्स डे। अनि काठमाडौँ एनिमल सेभले अमेजिङ कामहरू गरिरहनुपर्छ, किप डुइङ अमेजिङ थिङ्स। एन्ड आई थिङ्क चेन्ज इज अब मलाई त्यो सेभ गर्नु मन लाग्छ क्या। नेभर डाउट द्याट अ स्मल ग्रुप अफ पिपल क्यान चेन्ज द वर्ल्ड बट इन्डिड इट इज द ओन्ली थिङ द्याट ह्याज भन्ने कुराहरू चाहिँ एकदम पावरफुल लाग्छ। अनि तपाईँहरूको ग्रुपले जति गरिरहनु भएको छ, गर्नु भएको छ, ह्याट्स अफ टु यु गाइज, थ्याङ्क यू भेरी मच एन्ड किप डुइङ वाट यु आर डुइङ।
Thank you, Sailan.
यहाँ मैले मेसेजमा सुरुचि भनेर देखिरहेको थिएँ,
Right.
सुरुचिलाई फरवर्ड गर्छ।
थ्याङ्क यू सो मच। मेरो जर्नी भन्दाखेरि पनि अब मलाई चाहिँ तिमीले आफूबाट के गर्यौ त, तिमी यस्तो कामको लागि हिँडिरहेको छौ, एनिमलको लागि काम गरिरहेको छौ, एनिमल लभर लभर भन्छौ, बट तिमीले एनिमलको लागि के गर्यौ त भन्ने क्वेसन मार्कले गर्दाखेरि चाहिँ मलाई कता कता चाहिँ एनिमलको लागि चाहिँ मैले पनि केही नराम्रै काम गरेको हो कि मासुहरू लिगेर, या म कतै ठाउँमा जाँदाखेरि आफ्नो भोइसहरू उठाउने ठाउँमा चाहिँ म तिनीहरूको लागि बोलिदिएको भए म चाहिँ केही हुन्थ्यो कि उनीहरूको लागि, उनीहरूको लाइफ सेभ हुन्थ्यो कि भन्ने जस्तो थटहरू आएर अनि एकपटक चाहिँ आई लस्ट माई पेट। अनि त्यसपछि चाहिँ जहिले पनि म बाटोमा हिँड्दाखेरि पहिला त्यस्तो दिमागमा आउँथेन, तर त्यसपछि चाहिँ जहिले पनि बाटोमा हिँड्दाखेरि या कतै लङ ट्राभल गर्न पर्यो भने बाटोमा केही न केही मरेको देखिहाल्ने कि। अनि यति परेवाहरू मऱ्यो भने पनि अब घर आएर त्यही कुराहरू लेखिरहेको हुन्थ्यो डायरीमा होइन। भन्ने त कसलाई भनौँ, लाइक मैले कसलाई भने पनि देवी लाइक अब त्यो परेवा त हो नि, परेवा मऱ्यो सक्यो नि त। अनि त्यसपछि डग मऱ्यो, ल डगको लागि के गर्नु पर्यो, मान्छेहरू एक्सिडेन्ट गरेर पछि किन रोकेर के अरे कुर्दैन या उनीहरूलाई भेटको सामु लग्दैन। अनि पिपुल दे बी लाइक तिमीले आफ्नो ठाउँबाट के गर्यौ त भन्ने जस्तो यो क्वेसनिङले गर्दाखेरि चाहिँ म इट्स बिङ मोर देन 2 years म भेजिटेरियन भएको। आइ एम सो प्राउड अफ इट। अनि मेरो सर्कलमा पनि साथीहरूले किन भएको भनेर क्वेसनिङै गर्दैनन् कि, अझ बिकज दे नो अबाउट द्याट। अनि त्यसपछि धेरै कुराहरू छ भन्न, यो चाहिँ फिजिकल मिटिङमै भनौँ ल। अहिलेको लागि चाहिँ यति। थ्याङ्क यू एन्ड थ्याङ्क यू सो मच काठमाडौँ एनिमल सेल्फ। ग्रिटिङ्स, थ्याङ्क यू। एन्ड आई वान्ट टु नोमिनेट अभिमन्यु।
Hello, everyone. I'm Abhimanyu Sapkota. मेरो journey चाहिँ अब के भन्नु, फर्स्टमा I was a vegetarian for 4 years. त्यसपछि म vegan भएको चाहिँ 10 months मात्रै भयो भर्खरै। And म vegetarianबाट vegan हुनुको reason चाहिँ I thought I did something त्यो vegetarian भएर towards the animal rights। अनि I'm not supporting the animal exploitation industry भन्ने लाग्थ्यो। अनि तर त्यो कुरा चाहिँ I got to know about it कि त्यो चाहिँ राम्रो होइन, त्यो चाहिँ त्यसले पनि सपोर्ट गरिरहेछ, भेजिटेरियन मात्र हुनु चाहिँ इफेक्टिभ छैन, इट्स नट इनफ भन्ने कुरा चाहिँ थाहा पाएँ। एन्ड I got to watch a TED talk by Ed Winters। अनि त्यो हेरेपछि चाहिँ I went vegan overnight। अनि after I went vegan, I connected to Kathmandu Animal Save via Instagram। अनि त्यसपछि I have been working with them for almost 3 to 4 months above. Yeah, that's my story. And yeah, have a good time. Thank you. I guess everyone has done, or is someone left? Mr. Pamu, I guess, have you said? Let's hear from him. Okay, you can do it.
मेरो sound clear छ?
Yes, clear sir.
सो म चाहिँ भेजिटेरियन हो होइन, मैले चाहिँ आफूलाई भेजिटेरियन भनेर चिनाइरहेको छु अहिलेसम्म चाहिँ। आइएम भेजिटेरियन फर अबाउट 13 years एन्ड त्यसपछि म नट सो बिग फ्यान अफ डेरी प्रोडक्ट्स अनि अरू, तर म भिगन चाहिँ होइन टोटली भन्दाखेरि चाहिँ। पहिले चाहिँ टोटल्ली नै बिचमा चाहिँ मैले केही पनि युज गरिरहेको थिएँ, मतलब प्लान्ट के अरे डेरी प्रोडक्ट पनि केही पनि युज गरिरहेको थिएन। तर ओके, मेरो म भेजिटेरियन हुँदाखेरि चाहिँ कसरी भएको भन्दा एउटा गोठलाई चाहिँ स्लटर गर्न ल्याएको रहेछ, अनि त्यसको त्यो आवाजहरू चाहिँ मलाई म चाहिँ सुन्न नसकेर त्यहाँबाट चाहिँ म भेजिटेरियन भएको हो। तर भिगन चाहिँ अब हुन मैले खोजिराखेको छु होइन। तर कस्तो हुन्छ भन्दाखेरि एक्चुली चाहिँ मैले मलाई चाहिँ त्यो मेरो हेल्थ कोचले चाहिँ ती चाहिँ कन्ज्युम गर्नु भनेर सजेस्ट गरेको भएर चाहिँ अहिले चाहिँ मैले अब ती चाहिँ कन्ज्युम गरिरहेको छु। अब एथिकल सोर्स र नन एथिकल सोर्स भनेर चाहिँ तपाईँहरू अब यदि कोही कन्ज्युम गर्नुहुन्छ अथवा चाहिँ भनेर चाहिँ कसरी चिन्ने अथवा कसरी छुट्याउने अथवा चाहिँ त्यो मलाई त्यसमा पनि अलिकति चित्त चाहिँ बुझिरहेको छैन। तर पनि आइम ट्राइङ होइन, आई ट्राई माई बेस्ट एन्ड समडे मेबी होपफुली आई बी भिगन होइन। मलाई चाहिँ सबैजनालाई भेटेर एकदम खुसी लागिरहेको छ। त्यही नै हो। जस्तो अब कोहीले चाहिँ अब डेरी प्रोडक्ट्सहरू युज गरिरहनु भएको छ भने पनि त्यसमा चाहिँ अलिकति डिस्कसन गर्नु पायो भने चाहिँ अझै बेटर हुन्छ होला। जस्तो अब मलाई चाहिँ जस्तो एउटा डिस्कसन हुन पाए राम्रो हुन्थ्यो भन्ने छ। त्यही नै हो। थ्याङ्क यू।
थ्याङ्क यू नारायणी। यसमा चाहिँ हामीले क्लब हाउसहरूमा डिस्कसन राखिरहेको हुन्छौँ होइन। काठमाडौँ एनिमल सेफको टिमबाट रेगुलरली नै गरेर हुन्छौँ। काठमाडौँ एनिमल सेफबाट डिफ्रेन्ट न्युट्रिसनिस्टदेखि लिएर भिगन एक्टिभिस्टहरूदेखि लिएर भेजिटेरियन्स नन भेजिटेरियन्स होइन, सबैजना आएर क्लब हाउसमा हाम्रो डिस्कसन्स भइरहेको हुन्छ। अनि हामी त्यहाँ टाइम पनि राख्छौँ, कहिले कहिले कुन कुन इभेन्टमा कुन कुन टपिकमा गर्छौँ भनेर। यु गाइज क्यान जोइन काठमाडौँ एनिमल सेफको, हामी स्टोरीमा पनि हालिदिन्छौँ लिङ्क त्यसको लागि। नेक्स्ट कोही बाँकी हुनुहुन्छ भने यु क्यान स्पिक। भिगन बाई निर्वाणजी हुनुहुन्छ। निर्वाणजी, तपाईँलाई के भन्नु छ तपाईँको जर्नीको बारेमा?
Could you give me 5 minutes? I'm a little busy right now. एकछिन कुर्नुहोस् है।
ए स्योर। अरू कोही हुनुहुन्छ बाँकी?
समिता बस्नेतजी हुनुहुन्छ।
समिता बस्नेतज्यू।
Samita ji, are you really shy? Okay, then we have Mukesh Shrestha joining. Maybe he can go next. Mukesh, we are doing some introduction afno, and then talking about our experiences with animals, and we'd like you to tell one of your experiences.
नमस्कार सबैजनालाई। मेरो एक्सपिरियन्सेस चाहिँ भन्दाखेरि I love animals, and I'm also I'm just a vegetarian right now, but I'm thinking of converting to vegan. But I don't know how long will it take, but I'm trying my best because I love animals, and I have one a Bruno of mine, and she's a female dog. And you guys are doing really great. Keep it up. I don't have much to say, but I love your work. Carry on. Save animals, please. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mukesh. So I think that's all. We all have spoken. So I'd like to thank everyone who joined today. Like, it was so amazing. At one time we had about like 40 people, and I was so excited that so many people got to join. And with that, I also would like to thank Soba, Payal, Abhimanyu, Sekhar, Asutos, and Vidya, all of our Kathmandu Animal Ship team who worked hard for this event from a year ago. And all of our friends and every vegan businesses who collaborated with us. It was amazing to listen to your story, and yeah, everyone who joined. Yeah, it was amazing. Okay, now we are ready to listen to the story of Vegan by Nirvana. Please go ahead.
Hello everybody. मेरो नाम चाहिँ आयुष कृष्ण श्रेष्ठ हो अनि म चाहिँ अराउन्ड 5-6 इयर्स भयो भेजिटेरियन भएको अनि भेजिटेरियन चाहिँ कसरी भयो भने पहिला अति नै जङ्क खान्थेँ अनि पछि किडनी स्टोन पनि भयो मेरो अनि अपरेसन गर्यो अनि त्यसपछि बिस्तारै बिस्तारै अलिकति चासो लाग्यो हेल्दी लाइफस्टाइलतिर अनि पछि भेजिटेरियन भएँ अनि पछि त्यहीँबाट न्युज फिडहरूबाट डक्टर सेबीमा पुगेँ अनि डक्टर सेबी चाहिँ वान अफ द अहिलेसम्मको मलाई चाहिँ सबसे राम्रो लागेको हर्बलिस्ट हो सर्टिफाइड डक्टर होइन तर उहाँले 1984देखि एड्स अनि पछि क्यान्सर अनि यस्तै डिजिजहरू 1984देखि नै क्योर गर्दै आउनु भएको त्यो पनि टोटली बेस्ड अन हर्बल मेडिसिन अनि पछि उहाँले पनि भेगनिजमको पनि कुरा गर्नुहुन्छ जस्तै अब त्यो डेरी प्रडक्टहरूले कसरी हाम्रो त्यो बडीमा पनि हार्म पनि गर्छ अब साइन्टिफिकली उनीहरूले अब के निकालेछ अब स्टिल नट स्योर किनभने साइन्स भनेको इच एन्ड एभ्री टाइम होइन अब नयाँ नयाँ फाइन्डिङहरू गर्ने हो एभ्री टाइम एउटा कन्क्रिट एन्सरमा पुग्दैन नि त सो वेयर अल्सो डुइङ द्याट अनि मेरो चाहिँ बच्चा बेलादेखि नै त्यति धेरै त्यो नन भेज खाँदैन थिएँ खान त खान्थेँ तर त्यति खाँदैन थिएँ अनि अब पहिलादेखि नै लाइक आई लभ एनिमल्स इच एन्ड एभ्री एनिमल होइन म त अब बच्चा बेलादेखि एउटा के अरे क्रोकोडाइल पनि पाल्छु जस्तो सोचिरहेको थिएँ बच्चा बेलामा हुन्छ नि एउटा फ्यान्टेसीहरू अनि सो बेसिकली त्यही हो 1 इयर जति भेजिटेरियन भएँ त्यसपछि अनि भेगन बारेमा पनि अनि पछि आई स्टार्टेड डुइङ रिसर्च अनि पछि कति कुराहरू थाहा पाउँदै गएँ अनि पछि हुन्छ नि कति कुराहरू लाइक यु हेभ इट इनसाइड योर सेल्फ तर निस्किँदैन नि अब के कुरा हो पनि त्यो के कुराले बदर गर्छ पनि हामी लाइक स्योर हुँदैन लाइक थाहा पाउन सक्दैन तर जब त्यो भेगनिजमतिर लाग्न थाले अनि पछि आई स्टार्टेड ग्रोइङ एम्पैथी हुन्छ नि त्यो एनिमल पनि इट्स नट जस्ट हुन्छ नि हामीहरू दिमाग छ त्यसले गर्दाखेरि सोच्न सक्छ भन्ने बित्तिकै त्यो इगो लिएर अब के अरे अरूहरूलाई चाहिँ त्यो जो चाहिँ अब हुन्छ नि युजली जोसँग अलिकति इन्टलेक्चुअल हुन्छ त्यो त्यो नन इन्टलेक्चुअल मान्छेहरूले अलिकति दबाउनु खोज्छ नि हो त्यस्तै लाग्यो कि हामीहरू ह्युमन भएर इन्टलेक्चुअल त छौँ तर कस्तो वेमा इन्टलेक्चुअल छौँ हुन्छ नि अब इन्टलेक्चुअल छौँ भन्दैमा अब अरूहरूलाई दबाउनु त भएन नि त नि इन्टलेक्चुअल भनेको त के हो भने आफू सँगै अरूहरू जो हामी नबोल्नु सक्छ जोसँग त्यो फेसिलिटीहरू छैन उनीहरूलाई पनि अनि पछि त्यस्तै कुराहरू अनि बिस्तारै बिस्तारै मार्केटहरूमा पनि अब कहिलेकाहीँ साथीहरूसँग जान्थेँ अब साथीहरूसँग जाँदाखेरि खानु पाउँदैन थियो खानलाई अप्सन हुँदैन थियो अनि सो मैले पनि अनि के गरौँ न त भनेर अनि त्यही भेगन बेभरेज स्टार्ट गर्न थालेँ अनि त्यसमा लाइक आई डोन्ट पुट एनी प्रिजर्भेटिभ्स एज वेल अनि सुगरहरू पनि केही छैन बट मिठो छ अनि फिडब्याकहरू पनि अहिलेसम्म राम्रै आएको छ सो सर्ट एन्ड स्विट त्यही हो मेरो भेगन जर्नी चाहिँ
Thank you, Nirvanji.
Thank you.
Next one, we have a new person joining. Ramanji, would you like to say some of your story? Ramanji, are you there? Okay, I think he's not there. So, no, your mic is off. Can you check? It's in the bottom right corner of your screen. Okay. Okay then. Like.
Namaste.
Namaste. Please tell us your name. Give us a little bit of your introduction, and then tell us your experience in the vegan journey or vegetarian journey, or your experience with animals. Manjit, you can speak.
Hello, सुनिरहनु भएको छ होला?
हजुर, सुनिरहेको छु।
ए मेरो चाहिँ ग्रुपमा एकजना साथी हुन्छ, एक दुईजना साथी हुन्छ हैन। अनि त्यसपछि आज 23rd मा भएको थियो। म दिउँसो कार्य व्यस्तताले कारणले गर्दाखेरि म जोइन हुन पाइन। सो अहिले पनि जोइन भए आई एम ग्रेटफुल। जस यहाँ चाहिँ ग्रुपमा धेरै जना भिगन हुनुहुँदो रहेछ हैन। अनि सबजना एनिमल लभर हुनुहुँदो रहेछ। आई हेट टु से दिस, म चाहिँ भिगन होइन। अनि तर जस्ट आई रियली लभ एनिमल्स। अनि मेरो साइडबाट भने चाहिँ मैले चाहिँ एनिमल्सहरूलाई हेल्प गरेर हुन्छु। स्पेसली एनिमल्स भन्दाखेरि चाहिँ म्याक्स डगै पिक्चरमा आउँछ क्या दिमागमा प्रायः चाहिँ। अनि अब त्यही हो, अब इभिनिङ टाइममा कतै क्याफेहरूतिर बस्दा छेउछाउतिर डगहरू आउँदाखेरि चाहिँ उनीहरूले अब कुकिजहरू किनेर अब एकछिन भए पनि उनीहरूसँग नर्मली खेलेर अनि त्यसरी चाहिँ भनौँ न त्यसरी चाहिँ गरिन्छ। अनि इट्स रियली वन्डरफुल टु लाइक सी देम बी ह्याप्पी होइन। अनि अब जस एनिमल्स, स्ट्रिट एनिमल्सहरूलाई कसरी हेल्प गर्न सकिन्छ होइन। अब उनीहरू जस यो प्लानेट भनेको त अब हामीले नै हाम्रो इन्टेलेक्चुअल क्यापेसिटी हाम्रो धेरै भएर हामीले नै रुल गरिरहेको हो होइन। बट जति हाम्रो राइट्स छ उनीहरूको पनि त्यति नै राइट छ नि त होइन। अनि त्यही भएर अब जस के गर्न सकिन्छ एनिमल्सहरूलाई, कसरी उनीहरूको भनौँ न उनीहरूले धेरै सफर गर्न नपर्ने सिनारी कसरी क्रिएट गर्न सकिन्छ त्यो सम्बन्धी खासमा चाहिँ जस तपाईँहरूको के कस्तो धारणा छ त्यो चाहिँ अघि कतिजनाले कुरा राखिसक्नु भएको थियो होला। सो बाँकी रहेको को हुनुहुन्छ, आई वुड रियली लभ टु हियर यु गाइज अल।
Thank you for putting your words. It was really nice to know about you. हाम्रो चाहिँ त्यस्तो डिस्कसनहरू भइरहेको हुन्छ कि एनिमल्सहरूलाई कसरी हेल्प गर्ने होइन, कसरी चाहिँ एनिमल राइट्स मुभमेन्टलाई अगाडि बढाउन सकिन्छ भनेर। And we are now planning to do a weekly session on Clubhouse. If Clubhouse, we can join there and we can have a long discussion on this one. हामी यहाँ चाहिँ भनेको टाइम भन्दा अलि ओभर नै गइसक्यौँ कि 1 hour नै ओभर गइसक्यौँ। So if you can find Kathmandu Animals Save in Clubhouse, if you are in there, we will be having a discussion on this very quick, so we can talk about it.
हजुर हुन्छ, स्योर थ्याङ्क यू। म चाहिँ जस हाम्रो त्यहाँ सुरुचि खड्का, हितेश बस्नेत उहाँहरू पनि हुनुहुन्छ। म उहाँहरूसँग अब आउने सेसन कहिले हुँदो रहेछ, जस आई विल कोल्याब विथ देम।
Sure, of course. Last person is Hitesh Basnet. Please give us a little introduction and tell your journey, and you will be our last speaker tonight, and that will be amazing. Please go ahead.
Hello. सबैलाई नमस्ते। म चाहिँ हितेश बस्नेत होइन। म एक्चुअली यहाँ हजुरहरूको इभेन्टमा पार्टिसिपेट हुनुमा चाहिँ मेरो साथी सुरुचि खड्काले इन्फर्मेसन दिएको कारणले चाहिँ हो होइन। आई रियली लभ दिस इभेन्ट। सबैको कुराहरू सुने, आई वाज ह्याप्पी। अब हुन त बोल्न त एक्चुअली खासै त्यस्तो चाहिँ मलाई आफूमा चाहिँ के पनि छैन, त पनि आई रियली लभ डग्स होइन। जनावरहरू चाहिँ सबै मनपर्छ, तर अलिक कुकुर चाहिँ धेरै नै मनपर्छ है। अनि घरमा पनि पालेछु एउटा। आई लाइक स्पेन्डिङ टाइम विथ माई डग्स होइन। अब खेल्ने, कलर गर्ने, घुमाउने, खुवाउने, लाइक हुन्छ नि अब आफू लाइक आई रियली फिल गुड टु प्ले विथ देम अनि आफ्नो कुराहरू अब हुन त अब फील लाइक सो म्याड है अब साइको जस्तो थाहा देखि साउन्ड गर्छ तर बोल्नलाई उनीहरूसँग कन्भर्सेसन गर्नलाई अब बुझ्छ बुझ्दैन आई डोन्ट नो अबाउट द्याट तर कन्भर्सेसन गर्नलाई चाहिँ आई रियली फिल गुड के अब लाइक कति लाग्छ भन्दाखेरि अलि मान्छे भन्दा पनि धेरै नै बुझ्छ कि जस्तो पनि फिल हुन्छ कि अब कति कुराहरू एक्सपिरियन्स गरेको छ है मान्छेहरूबाट पनि कति एक्सपेक्टेसन्स कुराहरू हुन्छ अब भइरहेको हुँदैन तर दे क्यानट स्पिक अब के गर्न पनि सक्दैन लाइक पुच्छर हलाउँछ आउँछ खान्छ बस्छ तर एकदमै भित्रबाट एकदमै ह्याप्पिनेस फिल गराउँछ कि एकदमै हुन्छ नि अब लाइक आइ एम ह्याभिङ लट्स अफ स्ट्रेस अनि कति मेन्टल स्ट्रेस भइरहेको हुन्छ अब कति कुराहरू अब रिस अब धेरै कुराहरू भइरहेको हुन्छ कि तर एनिमल्स लाइक अब क्याट होस् डग होस् अब त्यहाँ गाई गोरु जेसुकै होस् whenever I see them के अनि I really feel joyful के even they cannot speak and they are like they seems to be happy why not me हैन animal I really love है यति भन्छु I don't know more to say है thank you so much है सबैजनालाई यति भए पनि सुनिदिनु भयो
थ्याङ्क यू त्यसै यदि एनिमल्सहरूसँग कुरा गर्नु क्रेजी मानिने हो भने चाहिँ यु आर इन अ भेरी गुड सर्कल राइट नाउ किनभने हामी डगसँग क्याटसँग चिकनसँग गोटसँग गर्छौँ सो
I guess maximum यो एनिमल लभर्सहरू चाहिँ यो गर्छन् होला कि म मात्रै त होइन होला सायद I guess
सबैले गरिन्छ नि हैन र
मलाई चाहिँ के लाग्छ भने एनिमलहरू चाहिँ अलि हामीभन्दा स्मार्टै हुन्छ जस्तो लाग्छ है कहिलेकाहीँ चाहिँ यस्तो डम मात्रै एक्ट गरे जस्तो लाग्छ
that might be the case
ए साथी अघि फेरि मान्छेहरू भन्दा पनि जनावरले धेरै बुझ्छ भने अब मेबी अलिकता यो अलि एकदमै नराम्रो साउन्ड गर्छ होला है तर नट एभ्री पिपल्स है त्यो अब कुनै कुनै हुन्छ कि अलिकता मान्छेहरू भन्दा पनि एकदम बेटर हुन्छ कि उनीहरू लाइक अब आई मिन द्याट है फेरि अलिकता नराम्रो टाइपको भाइब्स आउँछ कि भनेर मात्रै आई वान्ट टु क्लियर दिस है प्लिज
त्यस्तो अफेन्डेड चाहिँ थिएन हितेशजी
के रे
थ्याङ्क यू
हितेशजी हेलो
हजुर
मेरो एक्सपिरियन्समा चाहिँ होइन मेरो पनि घरमा दुईटा डग छ है एउटाको नाम चेरी अर्कोको नाम कृषि होइन अनि डगको चाहिँ मैले मेरो एक्सपिरियन्स चाहिँ उनीहरूले चाहिँ इम्प्याथी पनि सिक गर्दै रहेछ क्या कुनै बेला चाहिँ हुन्छ नि कुनै बेला चाहिँ प्रिटेन्ड पनि गर्छ जस्तो लाग्छ क्या मलाई डगले कहिलेकाहीँ केही कुराहरूमा मतलब अलिकति लभ पाउनको लागि हुन्छ नि ए बाबु के हो तँलाई टाइपको हुन्छ नि अनि त्यो अलिअलि यस्तो टाउको साउको सुमसुमायो भने अनि त्यो पुरै निदाउन खोज्ने टाइपको होइन आई रियली फाइन्ड द्याट अडोरिङ
डेफिनेटली ब्रो डेफिनेटली हो कि यो चाहिँ डेफिनेटली हो कि मैले चाहिँ यो कुकुरहरू पाल्न लागेको लाइक हुन्छ नि 10 देखि 12 वर्ष हुन लागिसक्यो म कति धेरै कुकुर पालेको छु कति मरेको छ अनि रियली फिल ब्याड है तर अलिकता एटेन्सन चाहिँ उयो गराउनु खोज्छ हैन
we love dogs true yes so अहिले चाहिँ हामीले तोकेको टाइम भन्दा ठ्याक्क 2 मिनेट हैन 1 घण्टा हुन 2 मिनेट कम ओभर गइसकेको छौं so
I think दिपेश हामी चाहिँ यो स्लोगन सबैजना सँगै भनेर we can end this meeting
exactly yeah so हाम्रो अरु सेसनहरु क्लब हाउसमा गरिन्छ so आजको सेसन यहाँ एन्ड गरौँ तर जानु भन्दा अगाडि आज हाम्रो स्लोगन छ our planets theirs too so एकचोटी सबजनाले माइक अन गरेर यो स्लोगन and then we can live for our
slogan
right yeah मेरो पछाडी छ यता
okay
I'm sorry to interrupt slogan कहाँनिर छ होला प्लिज
पछाडी छ रमन our planet भनेर लेखेको छ हेर्नु त पछाडी
म च्याटमा पनि लेखिदिन्छु
एकछिन ल ए ओके
मैले च्याटमा पनि लेख्दैछु so are we all ready okay सबजनाको माइक अन भएन
okay सबजनाको माइक अन
okay ready on the count of 3 eh 1 2 3 our planet
theirs too
Yay! Thank you, everyone. Bye bye,
Thank
everyone.
you. It was wonderful.
Bye bye.
Have a good day. Have a good night. Have a good afternoon.
Wonderful
Bye.
session.
Bye, everyone. See you in
Stay
physical
safe,
conference
stay
soon.
healthy.
Bye-bye.
Tons
Bye
of
bye.
love.
Stay safe, stay healthy.
Okay.
Bye bye.
Hopefully next year physical.
Bye, everybody. Take care.
Take care, everyone. Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Bye bye. Bye bye.
Tons of love.
Thank you. Same from here. Thank you for attending. Thank you for staying till the end as well. Bye bye.
कहाँ जानला
सबजना नगिन्जेलसम्म म बाई नै गर्दै बस्छु
कहाँ जानला जानै दिन्न तिमीलाई
छिटो छिटो
अघि शोभा साइड आउँदाखेरि को बच्चा आएछ भन्दा कि
म त कस्तो सक भइदिरहेको छु सम्मको बदि त्यो
बच्चा आएछ दिएको थियो भने शोभाको टप्पो पो रहेछ
These guys are not following lockdown.
खै यो बताउनु पर्यो पायल हामी अहिले पनि यही छौँ मेरो पर्सनल ब्याकग्राउन्ड अफ गरौँ ओके ओके गाइस लिभ गर न भने म बाइ गर्छु ल बाइ बाइ छिटो पाले पालो ओके बाइ सुराजन बाइ सम्झना बाइ बा बाइ रमनजी बाइ आयुष आयुष चाहिँ म्युट गरेर बस्छ बाइ 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 भएन अब त म अफ नै गरेँ